Okay, here we are, Brian. Start the show.
We are live right now from Beast in Brews, Colorado Springs. We are taking a little detour to get some of the best and freshest food for the summer dinner series last night. I am Brian Freeman. I'm here with Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker, and a good friend, Noah. He's the executive chef in Beast and Brews. Here, we had some
Noah
modern
Siebenthaler.
Did I
Chef
Noah
Siebenthaler.
You did,
finally?
Absolutely.
See, that's how you know we've gotten to know you. Pretty good, chef.
That's right.
Man, thanks for hosting us. This was a last-minute thing, but we've been on the past 24 hours, Brian. Wow, right?
Yep.
You want to hear what our past 24 hours
I do.
Okay. Decided we got to get out there and get the protein. So Brother Luck's dinner. There's 1 4-top left. I just checked. SummerDinnerSeries.com. Got all squared around. Go there. You can join us Tuesday night for Summer Dinner Series with Chef Brother Luck, right? It's going to be a great night. So we got his menu, and we saw on there that he had pork belly that he wanted, right? That he had beef that he wanted, and that he had chickens that he wanted. So we have a friend, and it's a mutual friend in Nate and Blake at Rocky Mountain Organic Farms in Gray Wolf Resort, Victor, Colorado. So modern eater style is we're just going to jump in the car. But, it's not like 18-year-old guy style where you just go with what you're wearing and you're –
Yeah, not at all.
It's, I got to go home and get my CPAP, and Brian's got to get his medication, and Jay's got to get his crazy pills at his place. So everybody goes home. Anyways, it was 4:30 in the afternoon when we decided, okay, we'll be at Gray Wolf Resort cooking dinner, and, by 6:30, 7 o'clock. 12 o'clock, midnight, on the stroke, we got into Gray Wolf Resort looking to get some chickens, right, from Blake. He's got a bunch of great free-range chickens. I thought, Brother Luck, those guys will go get these fresh chickens. We'll harvest them. We'll have a great story to tell. Blake, this morning, as we get up, says, hey, listen, I have a concern. The concern is that we need to make sure that this is done properly because you're serving guests.
Yep.
And it needs to go through a USDA facility. He said, well, that's not a USDA facility at the Gray Wolf Resort. And so we took pause, and you're absolutely right. So we make calls. Brian, talk about the scarcity of chickens.
Well, it's actually what's interesting, Greg, because I don't know that it's
Colorado.
It's not necessarily as much as the scarcity of the bird itself. It's the place to get them processed, and it's actually a big problem here in Colorado because I know there's only a few. If you were raising chicken, there's only a few places that you can go get a USDA sort of USDA certified slaughter, which means that you can sell to the general public and you could serve it in a restaurant. That one place is in Westcliff, Colorado. There's another place, I believe, out on the western slope, but there's like 2 in the state, 2 or 3 maybe at the most. And the problem with that is it's not price. It doesn't work for the money.
Efficient.
Yeah. Price efficient. Thank you. It's not. It's $7 to $8 per bird to get them slaughtered.
So
most people want them for $7.
Yeah, locally, Redbird kills it.
Yep.
Right. They have their own facility. They do their own processing. As far as animals go, and that's been something that, through COVID was really just exposed of how do we get food direct to market from the farmers and the ranchers. And as we've dug in, we're like, okay, chickens, there's no real facility that's price efficient for chicken ranchers to put it together. So we're standing by for Mo. Talk about Mo, because when we called, we said, Chef Noah, what do you have? Do you have any ideas? We're trying to source some chicken for Brother Luck. Now, we met a gal named Mo a few years back on our road trip.
2 years ago.
She was just getting going.
Yep.
Now, this is a hard-working, at the time, single mother. I don't know what she's doing now, but a hard-working rancher in the Black Forest, and chickens are her game. She loves raising chickens, but I'll let you take it from there.
So, I called Morgan up to see what she was up to. Just like you guys said, COVID kind of hit everybody, and haven't talked to her in a little while, but she said absolutely she just had about 100 birds that she got back from her USDA processor that she had ready to go and would be willing to help out. And she corrected me. She was using the processor in Westcliff, but apparently they're not doing it anymore. So she's out even further east now. She'll be able to tell you more about that facility when she gets here later.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there's a Simplot.
That's where she's at.
Yeah,
yep.
Simplot Locker
Yep.
is another one of those. But that is a tough thing.
Yep.
You know, I mean, for someone, because one, it costs money to raise birds.
Yeah.
And, you know, we did a breakdown with Blake today about, you know, you're putting potentially almost $30 of food.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, depending on what kind of food you're giving your birds. And he just said, you know, sometimes it's just not cost effective for me to slaughter birds, which has got to be hard.
It is hard. You know, I was talking to Morgan this morning, and, you know, she's primarily dealing right now with just, you know, locals that from the farmer's market or word of mouth, because her birds they're great birds, but they're $5 a pound. And for a restaurant to use that is just, it's not cost effective either, because the guest doesn't want to absorb that cost. They don't understand why a rotisserie chicken is going to cost $45 sitting in front of them when they can make it for $5 at home.
Yeah, no, and maybe you could speak to that for just 1 second, because it is hard sometimes to do what you want to do, mm-hmm. because there's a certain ceiling that a customer is going to pay.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, we were working with Morgan and her birds a while back, and our guests just weren't willing to pay that extra price. Yeah, they know that the bird is local, it's raised local, it's taken care of, it's got good feed. You know, they were using the black gold from Sunflower or Colorado Mills. But the guests, there's just a certain point where that their eyes just gloss over, and they're like, but it costs this much.
Yeah,
I can do it for this much at home. And they don't understand that extra cost. Everybody thinks they want organic and local until they realize, hey, it does cost us more to acquire, produce, and put that out.
I remember the day I was in the food, you know, in this side of the food business, mm-hmm. in the restaurant as a server in the early 90s and a bartender. You were selling burgers for like $7.50, and today you're getting, you know, like anyone putting a burger on the menu under $12 would be, you know, and it's strange because there are certain things we're willing to pay for, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you find that what are the people's like? This is what I want. Like
so
comfort.
for us, for comfort up in this area, definitely people are willing to pay for, you know, a good hearty steak or a good hearty burger. We've got a great dry aged burger on our dinner menu. I'll show that to you guys a little bit later, but it's a premium burger. It's a half-pound dry aged brisket and chuck burger that on a Aspen Baking Company burger roll. We sell it for $20 at dinner, and we sell the heck out of it. We're doing it for $18 right now for Colorado Springs Burger Week, but we still sell a ton of it. At lunchtime, nobody's thinking about a $20 burger.
Yeah.
So
that's really interesting. I mean, there's the dynamic of really being a good chef and a businessman and trying to meld the two. And then we were having a conversation. A lot of people make all their money on their booze. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people are like, listen, I'll give stuff away. We're talking to someone who said, you know, I used to run a promotion on wings. I knew I was losing $200 to $300 every night on the wings.
Yep.
But guess what? I was selling about $2,000 to $3,000 extra in alcohol.
Yep.
And that's what made the difference.
Yeah. And when you're looking at the margins, the alcohol definitely has a much higher profit margin than food does.
It is an interesting thing as someone. Now, I'll tell you, we were lucky enough to get some of your food. And wow, man, we had everything from some burgers mm-hmm. and BLTs, which I think Jay showed, fish and chips. So I had an incredible salad. One of the things Greg and I both complimented you on was the broccolini. That is off the charts. It's like a chard. What are you doing with that?
So the broccolini has been one of our surprising hits since we opened last year. We take dry broccolini, no oil or anything. We throw it in the real hot convection oven for about 10 minutes, and then when it comes out, we toss it with our house-made Caesar dressing and grana padano, and people love it.
Wow.
Yeah, even kids eat the heck out of it.
I could imagine. It's like, I mean, it was almost like broccoli fries or something like that.
Yeah,
really good.
I've had a handful of moms tell me that I can't ever take it off the menu because they always come in to get it for their kids. Yeah.
Well, that's super important. I mean, because not only, you know, you're a great place for like kids, like you say there, mm-hmm. but also for adults. You've got over 100 taps.
Yep, we have 100 self-pouring taps. We are the largest self-pouring tap room as of right now in Colorado and second largest in the country.
Wow, and you've got everything, though, from wine
mm-hmm.
Do you have spirits?
We do. We've got 4 red wine, 4 white wine. We've got 3 bourbons on tap. I've got a margarita on tap, vodka on tap, nitro cold brew coffee, kombucha, CBD seltzers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's all pour your own.
It is.
And that's got to be tricky for some, right?
It absolutely is. I saw a video of a certain bartender earlier trying to pour, and it didn't work out so well.
I think that could be our producer, Jay Parker.
That's right.
He's over there talking, having a very
gonna
intimate conversation with his computer over there.
What are you going to go show, Jay?
I'm just going to take a little walk around.
Oh, good. Take a
show
little walk
everybody
around.
The taps, while we have
Sure.
run
So
of the
describe.
mill.
Well, you kind of just watch what Jay's doing, and as he takes around, Chef Noah, just give a little play-by-play.
Yeah, so all of our servers, they kind of have a dual role here. It's in the interview process, anytime a server tells me that they've been a bartender, it's kind of on a red flag for me, because I always tell our guests that say, I know how to pour, I used to be a bartender. I'm like, well, my first thought is, then you know how to pour the foam down the drain. And somebody else is paying for it. When you're pouring your own beer, you don't want all the foam. You want a nice, half-inch head on it. You don't want a 2.5-inch head like Jay poured earlier.
Pouring your money down the drain.
That's right. We always have to explain to everybody that the foam is beer, and the system charges you for every ounce of beer that you pour. If you have a bad pour, that liquid turns into the foam because you're putting too much air back into it. So if you're pouring improperly, don't pour it off. Let it settle down. And our staff, they have to constantly monitor and make sure that they're training the guest how to pour properly. And it's fun to watch. We have a lot of regulars that come in, and they'll bring their friends and family and train them on how to do it. And I've never been a bartender in my life, and I can pour every one of these taps perfectly. If it's not perfect, then I know there's an issue with either the keg or the line itself.
Now, what made you all decide, Noah, to go with this sort of self-serve? And also, because you went with it in a way where you actually have tap handles. Mm-hmm. Some of those new things, and I don't know that I buy into it. I don't know. Tell me, you set your glass in it?
Yep. So the reason that we went with this system, there's 2 major companies that do the self-pour system. And the reason we landed on this one is just their technology is a little more superior than their major competitor. But our owner came from El Segundo, California, where he saw this system out there and just fell in love with it and said, oh man, I want to do this on a large scale in a large format. So he got in touch with them and just put this all together. Jeff Rourke from A Plus did a great job installing everything. He was a huge help. I believe he's done a couple more of these since.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yep.
He's an incredible guy. He just did Monarch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you heard about that.
Yeah.
Monarch Casino up in Blackhawk.
So, yeah, the system it's great. The one that you were referring to where you place the glass on, I know that company does work with the company we use here, Pour My Beer, in conjunction also, where they're using their technology for guests to do that themselves versus the bartenders doing it. I believe there's a movie theater here in town that actually uses that technology. And from what I've heard, I've never personally seen it, but from what I've heard is those little magnets in the bottom of the glass actually leak quite a bit and cause drippage.
That's what I would think. I just think it's a poor design. That's why I'm not a fan of it, just because on a personal level, because it looks like a poor. I like things that are well engineered.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it looks cool for the guests to see it in front of them, but I like the guests here. They have a lot of fun interacting at the wall with each other, part of our community, if you will, teaching each other how to pour, and our staff teaching them how to pour. But we do get those grumpy ones every once in a while that don't want to learn how to pour or think they're the best bartenders out there. So.
Noah, are you just as involved with the food and the booze?
Absolutely. So kind of in a dual role here with executive chef and general manager. So all the food that comes out of the kitchen is my recipes. You got to make sure, because I'm also general manager, it pulls me out of the kitchen a lot more than I'd like. So I always have to make sure that my kitchen staff is on their A game and putting out the food to the standards that I want. So I've got a great kitchen manager back there.
Now on the booze side, I'm curious about this. Have you run across anything because of COVID right now? A lot of these smaller brewers are trying to find alternative ways. Mm-hmm. One of my favorites in town is Bierstadt in Denver. They do this Pilsner, and they don't do it anywhere.
Right.
You only get it if you go to Bierstadt. But the other day, they started canning. The owner was happy about it, but she says, I've got to keep going.
Yep.
And have you found anything like that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've talked to a lot of the brewers. Actually, I had a brewer from Rocky Mountain Brewery here earlier today, asked how they were doing. He said they're killing it with the canning side of it, whereas I had another brand rep in here this morning who said they're struggling on the cans because of the national aluminum can shortage. So just depending on when they got their supply, where they're at. A lot of breweries are focusing more on canning now because they're unsure the on-premise accounts, how many kegs they can bring in. There's a while where we couldn't even get Coors Light.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of breweries are opting to focus more on the cans because the liquor stores are killing it right now, whereas bars and restaurants aren't doing so much on keg sales.
How has the 10 o'clock cutoff, has that affected you with your alcohol sales?
It hasn't us here. Just the neighborhood that we're in is not really a late night neighborhood. So we actually close right now prior to the 10 o'clock cutoff. But being summer, we would like to stay open later if the business were there. So it would have affected us for that.
Wow. Well, and speaking of, you've got an incredible patio. We're sitting. Tell the listeners and viewers, where are we?
We are up off Voyager and Northgate area by Bass Pro Shop area. This is the new Powers corridor that's being broke through right here. So we have the best view, in my opinion, of the Front Range, the Air Force Academy. Just absolutely gorgeous view of Pikes Peak and the whole range.
I would totally agree with that, Noah. It is just a beautiful place.
And they can't build up.
Yeah. There's a ravine right on the other side of the road there. So there won't ever be anything built between us and the view.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That is really nice. Jay, how are we looking on time? Everything? Do we need to break to a commercial or anything like that?
Yeah, in about a minute. I'm going to show some of this outside real quick.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this time of day.
Thank you,
I mean,
Jay.
listen. And you can see some spectacular storms come through here
as
well, can't you?
Yep, you see the storms come through. It's always fun to watch the Air Force Academy out there training with the gliders, and they've got the parachuters out there all the time.
Here's what's scary about the business is, and just as a rule on an owner's side, you never want to be the first one in.
Yeah.
This is a brand new build out. This is a luxurious place. And of course, no one planned for COVID, but here you are with this brand new place. I don't know if they own the building or not, but chances are not, and it's a lease because you look around, there's a lot of new development. So, with a beautiful place like this and such slim margins to begin with and lower traffic, what do you do to try and just get some traction? And get out there? I think probably connecting with your kid, your base is important, but I just struggle to see how it's done right now. Are you learning as you go along?
We've pretty much been learning as we go. Social media has definitely been key for us. We found that social media is best for restaurants for their advertising dollars to get the foot traffic. And like you said, we're one of the first ones in out here, so the foot traffic is definitely. It's tough to bring. If we were downtown, it'd be a whole nother story.
Absolutely.
Downtown Denver even would be a completely different story.
I couldn't imagine what it would cost to put in a draft system like you have. The doors alone, even the furniture, everything down to every detail, to the engraving of B&B on the backs of the chairs.
Yep.
This place was not a cheap place to get started, and it's just awesome and beautiful. And we know about it, but that's the thing. You got to know who's doing what. Now, we know we'll break off. We'll come back. Chef Noah Siebenaller here with us. And what I like about you is your attention to detail and food. What I want to talk about when we get back is the difficulty of keeping the integrity of what you want to keep as a chef during times like this, to where every cent is important. I have a feeling the tone of the conversation is, how can I cross-utilize and utilize and make your menu as simple as possible, a couple of proteins of what you want, some produce, maybe some seasonal things, but you like to cook with the best of the best and make sure that comes across in your food. How do you do it now? I don't know. We'll ask him when we come back. All right, let's break away. We'll come back live from Beasts and Brews in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We might get a cameo from Chef Brother Luck. Working on our cross-posting right now. Facebook won't let us in the back end, so we're trying to reach the audience that we have, obviously, the after of what people see from the Modern Eater shows. This is very consumable. But right now, share it, because we're unable to share it right now. So you guys out there watching the broadcast, get this thing shared. Look at that. It's just spin-wheeling right now. Want to get in there and edit that. It's a great setup. The food was delicious. You need to be us and get down here. Yes. Anytime that you're passing through, and if you're getting into southern Colorado or Pueblo, Colorado Springs.
Well, they're right off of I-25.
Yeah,
I mean, this is I-25 is one
what
of the
is
main
the exit
corridors.
on I-25?
The Northgate exit is the closest one at the moment.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to hear a little words from our sponsors. Maybe a side-by-side will show a roaming camera of me getting a refill on a beer.
Ooh, I like that.
Why not? This is a great time that we're having here, and we're talking sourcing food for the Summer Dinner Series, summerdinnerseries.com. You can get your tickets. Well, just one table left from Chef Brother Luck.
It might be gone. So
we'll tell you where all of the delicious ingredients are coming from, because it's all local. We're excited to tell you about it. We'll be back in a flash. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of ourselves, newly appointed hospitality specialist, Kalina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of time. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Kalina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here, and as I come in here, I'm noticing... Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful... Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment, and maybe we'll even have a few pops.
All right, back to the show in just a second. But before we get back to the show, I want to talk to you about Aspen Baking. If you're a bread person, listen up. I'm a bread guy. I don't need meat. I don't need cheese. I don't need greens. I need bread. AspenBaking.com is where I go to get my bread fix. Whether you want to order online, you can order direct. If you want to do Amazon Fresh, you can do that too. Go to AspenBaking.com right now and get bread. Delicious bread. Since 1994, they've been doing it here locally. Support local, support bread.
Can I get a box lunch?
You can get a box lunch. Do you like sausage?
I like sausage. Can I get Rome sausage?
You can get Rome sausage.
In a breakfast sandwich?
Yes, you can.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, you can. I know. Tell me
I'm going to run. I won't walk.
It's freaky good. AspenBaking.com is where you go to have all that fun. as I move cameras. Bear with me.
Wait a second. You've got an Aspen Baking BLT right behind you.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
here's
I
what
do.
I would have done with all that weirdness is that you had a great opportunity with Chef Noah here. Come on, Jay, where are you going? You got to talk this through. Talk to Chef Noah about that. What does he have? You're doing an Aspen Baking
Well,
Live.
I know, but
Go
do
ahead.
you see how many hands I have?
No.
Right? So it's like I'm
You could
I'm
be
little
wearing a
bit-
headset, right?
Well, I could, but I
But
was saving
you
that fourth
decide-
one. What you said?
I love it, but hey, I want to jump into Chef Noah and ask him, what do you do with Aspen Baking bread?
So Aspen Baking Company is definitely our bread supplier of choice. I get everything from them that we use in the kitchen. We use their French Parisians for all of our sandwiches, burger rolls, slider rolls. We bring in their marble rye for my Reuben. So
How many different kind of burgers
Quality.
do you have?
different burgers?
Yeah.
3, right?
No, I've got. Oh goodness, I think I got 5 burgers on the menu right now.
Oh, okay. Well, there
Yeah.
are different times then because right now on the lunch menu there's 2 or 3.
No, we got the PB&J burger
Okay.
on lunch. We got the double. We've got the barnyard. We've got the classic.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, I've got the veggie burger, which is a house-made veggie
Right.
patty.
Anything with peanut butter. Someone tried to convince me to put a little peanut butter on a
Yep,
burger.
I've got a
the other day.
PB&J
That's
burger.
delicious.
You do have
Yep,
a PB&J
we do.
burger.
Yep, peanut
Nice.
butter, jelly, and candied bacon.
Do a reset, Brian.
Okay.
Who are we? Where are we? And what are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and watching today. We are the Modern Eater. We are Colorado's hyper-local food and beverage network. Today, we are in Colorado Springs with Greg Hollenbach, our host, Jay Parker, the incredible producer, Chef Noah from Beast
Say it
and
with me,
Brews,
because once you get it, then you got it.
Siebenoller.
Is it- because I used to do the Sieben. Now I'm
That's
at
right.
the Sieben.
Siebenoller.
Siebenoller. And
Chef
it
Noah
gets pretty
Siebenoller.
easy once you got it, you know.
And myself.
Yeah, and yourself, Brian Freeman. It's a sourcing trip that we're on right now, Brian. So chickens, we got figured out. I think we're standing by for Mo.
Yep,
from Mo's
Mo's
Eggs.
coming over with some nice big birds too. I heard we're gonna get some like 3 to 5ers,
They were 4 to 6 pound average.
4 to 6. Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
And then we have our friends from Centennial Cuts.
Yes, Luke Larson from.
Have you ever
Centennial
worked with
Cuts.
Luke?
I've got some ribeyes and New York strips and tenderloins up on our butcher case from him right now.
Chef Brother's going to be cooking his short rib for our dinner on Tuesday night.
Well, it's interesting as we sit and we always look like, okay, who can we source from? And proteins is really kind of the fun thing. And farms are there, right?
Come on now, you know I'm a veggie guy, but go ahead.
All right. Actually, that's kind of true. You are the veggie guy, and I like the ranches. Ranches are an interesting thing because, especially when you're dealing in boutique ranching, that's a whole nother. Have we turned you on to Toby McPartlin out of Hotchkiss, Colorado?
I don't know yet. I don't
Yeah.
recognize that name.
Colorado Sustainable Pork, is that what his company name is?
No, it's
No.
not.
What
It's
is
a Colorado pastured pork.
Colorado Pasture
Okay.
Pork. Thank you.
And he's an organic pig farmer.
Nice.
We go visit him. A lot of the thing is how do people get it to market? And he says he's having great success because, number one, pigs and chickens are really commodity animals here in Colorado.
Yep.
And it has a lot to do with the processing.
Yep.
The cattle, a lot of them use the big ones. And more you look at these big ones, especially during COVID, it's magnifying on just the conditions. And then
the problems
Yeah.
and not being able. We had a big cattle rancher come to us the other day and say, "I'm done."
You ever been to Sunnyside in Durango? It's a. Oh yeah, we got
No.
to take Chef with us. You like that kind of stuff,
Oh,
though,
absolutely.
right? And
Have you ever worked with Sangrace?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where she gets her stuff done.
Okay.
And they,
where
she-
at Sunnyside?
Yeah.
I don't think she does. Does she?
No, I think Elin gets her
I
stuff.
thought she does hers
hung
in
over-
Westcliff too. It's just a
Interesting.
couple of places, though.
Yeah, I mean, she's down by Westcliff. So
She's right there.
Yeah.
In Westcliff.
Yeah.
But is that Westcliff? Is that a full beef as well?
I believe so. I've seen quite a few things come from their facility with the local ranchers that have brought in samples and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one up in Denver. It's called Innovation, or it's just north of town. But they're hard to come by.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Greg.
No,
Sorry.
what's the importance of that? The importance is that if you want to bring your beef to market, it's got to be certified, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
You don't want any willy-nilly just outside backyard barn cutting down. And half the time, listen, I think that might be a better way than some of these packaging plants. But that's the law. We would have loved to have been at Grey Wolf Resort harvesting some chickens right now. But this gal, that's why I want to talk to Mo. It's like, how do you make any money off a chicken? You think about it. You go to a supermarket, you get a full chicken, even a good one, like from Natural Grocers. What are you paying, $11.99? Tie-in for a good air-chilled organic chicken. Yeah. It seems like you're paying that much just to feed these chickens and then raise them, and then
those birds are small too.
And then the processing. What about $8 through Westcliff? Is that
not only that, but the transportation too, and from the processing as well.
Like, what does Mo charge for a chicken to make it worth her time? It's got to be a $30 chicken.
Well, let me ask you this.
Is it?
Pretty close,
yeah. Usually they are.
And who would do that?
Well, if you're high-end restaurants can get, I mean, I have paid $23 for half a chicken before at a really good restaurant. But, I mean, that's a hard thing. But, now I look.
And that's way end user.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way end user.
Our chicken dish, for dinner after 4 o'clock, we do our rotisserie chicken. It's a full half of a chicken with a choice of 2 sides, and we sell it for $20.
Yeah. And that's a fair, for me, I'll tell you, coming out to a restaurant, that's a fair price. Mm-hmm. But it's like we say, it's tricky now.
Wait, beyond fair. Because think of all the steps that your labor costs, keep your electricities in there. Every cost that you have
insurance
is in selling that chicken plate.
Well, so the curveball I was going to throw you is I wish people would go to, and we'll ask Mo about this. Have you ever heard of a Bluefoot chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we, that's one of the things in America that we don't do well.
Wait, hold on. I haven't heard of that.
You haven't heard
of
a
lot
Bluefoot?
Of people.
It's a very famous French chicken. But you will pay, that's a chicken where you'll pay $50 to eat that chicken in a nice French restaurant. And so,
theoretically.
People will. Like, a Bluefoot chicken is, and I've been lucky enough in my life to have one, it's not like, none of the meat is, you're not looking at white chicken meat, like what we know of chicken meat. You're looking at this incredible meat that's just it's a different, phenomenal taste. Chef, where'd you go with that one?
I personally haven't had it, but it's one of those things. I was recently watching a TV show where they're consuming this little bird that has been outlawed in the United States. They eat the whole bird, bones and all, with the towel over your face so that you're not ashamed from eating it. But it's one of those things where you're going to pay for that experience of it. And here in Colorado, we don't have many of those experiences that you do pay for. But like Brian said, if you know the Bluefoot chicken, you're going to pay the $50 for it, and you're not going to get a whole bird or half a bird.
Okay, so what do you figure the secret is?
Behind the flavor?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what can you do to make a chicken? Is it a breed?
Yes.
Yep. It is?
Yeah.
So just big breasts?
No, it's not even big breast. The whole thing is it's real. It's not an overproduced.
Because I do. Okay, all right.
That's
great.
the biggest
Jay,
thing.
what's that chicken company that came into the studio? We even just refreshed on it.
Oh, that was a good one. Lakeside, Lakeland.
You're the last person to remember.
It started with the lake.
Shut up, Freeman. Shut up, Freeman.
What is it, Jay?
It's venture chicken.
Venture chicken?
Venture capital chicken.
No, exactly.
No,
yeah, that's exactly what it is, Jay.
No, it's
my
Venture Foods.
Lord.
Venture. Oh God, chicken. Hold on, let me put it in my phone.
True Food. Are you sure? No, you didn't get that one right.
Yeah, I think Lakeland was right, but there's a bunch
it's not
of
Lakeland.
Anyway, there was this company that we were all very, very impressed with, and you could taste the difference in the chicken. But when it comes to cattle, grass-fed, grass-finished, corn-fed, corn-finished, grass-fed, corn-finished. So many multiple ways of raising an animal.
Oh yeah.
But really, the treatment of the animals, what you're pumping into them.
Cook's Venture.
Cook's Venture.
I had the right word, Freeman.
Have you heard of Cook's Venture?
I haven't.
Oh.
Shut up, Jay.
Chef Noah, seriously, man, like all jokes aside, Cook's Venture is what it's called, and they have birds that they're pricey. I'll tell you right now, it's probably, your normal, Greg, what are those, like 6-pound birds? Or like $20.
But that's,
Wow.
and I would spend that on these chickens.
I mean, for a 6-pound bird, that's not bad.
That's not bad?
No,
okay,
it's a little over three a pound. That's not too bad, Jay.
Well, I might be off because I remember it being a little pricey for what I'm used to seeing on chicken. Not that I'm a chicken expert, right? But whatever the costs, I'll tell you that much, it's worth it.
Chicken is, this is a good story, actually, because chicken is a tough thing even in the United States because we've busted a lot of these chicken companies that were putting, saline into the chicken to pump up the, meat.
Heirloom chickens.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 pastured, raised heirloom chickens, 3 to 4 pounds each, free shipping, save 25%. I'm just wondering how these people make money. So how much is it?
Well, they're doing a direct, right? So that's always good. They've
$90
got 4
for
chickens.
6 chickens. What do you think of that, Chef?
So that's $30 per chicken.
No, 6. So 6, 15 a chicken, right?
Yep. So that's actually a really good price.
Yeah, man. We're not affiliated.
Order some of that chicken right now.
With these, if you're hearing us, this is we were all very impressed with Cook's Venture Chicken. Where are they out of? I know it's not Colorado.
No, that's something I couldn't find. You could probably find it, but I couldn't find where they were.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm on
the
website.
Give you an idea. I got a text late last night from one of our local suppliers. There's a 48-hour flash sale on chickens that was 99 cents a bird for basically the same type of bird, non-GMO, hormone-free, air-chilled, and I jumped on it. 99 cents a pound is insane right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they can stay in business at that.
Well, birds, and let's go to the other end of the spectrum of unethically raised. And I hate to go there with that just because it's so dark. But it really is dark if you've ever looked on the inside of it when those folks that head in as an expose inside of a large packaging plant. You could just say Tyson, I guess, or go down the list. But the way that those animals are treated, you got no shot at it. And I know it's production for food.
That's why I love Morgan from Mo's Eggs. When I first met her, she was just doing eggs. She wasn't doing meat birds. And we actually, my staff and I, before we opened the restaurant, we went out to her farm and helped her clear some area, cut down trees, and put up a pen for the meat birds that she was starting to raise, the ones that you guys will actually be getting from her.
Hey, while we have the opportunity, Summer Dinner Series, that's where we're out sourcing all the delicious ingredients that we do. Chef Noah Siebenaller. Hey, by the way, my card's cut off.
Oh, we'll have to fix that. We'll have to fix that.
Chef, you had the opportunity to go to it. Which dinner did you go to?
It was Biker Jim and Cartley Smith.
Gotcha.
That was fun.
It was good.
10-hour dinner.
Yeah. I got to tell you, the fermented frites really threw me for a loop. I was really intrigued by it, and dinner turned out awesome with the kimchi cream with it. It was great.
Yeah. You're going to get a kick out of that. I actually am the one who brought that to Carly.
Oh, really?
I saw this. It's called The Modern Stone Age Family, and it's about a guy who is he's a doctor of some sort, PhD, and he goes around the world and shows his kids how Americans have screwed up food.
Wow.
And one of the things that he shows is that we, in Peru, which is really the origin of the potato, they bury it for 10 months. They harvest it, and then they bury it for 10 months, put a little water, and then they take that out in 10 months and eat it. So every year, they're almost eating last year's crop. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that they said it leaches out all the toxins. So that was sort of cool. Yeah, the other one was cheese, and he was talking about how we use these enzymes to speed up the process of cheese and how terrible that is in the big picture. And one of the last ones was corn and the nixtamalization process of corn, which is something that they used to add an ash or a lye into the water and let the corn sit overnight. Little Rich with Raquelitas Tortillas, coincidentally, does that, and he's one of the few tortilla companies that actually does that, because corn is really hard to digest on our body when it's a dried, when it turns into the grain. And a lot of people just grind it, and and how we have screwed up tortillas. And he showed these 3 products that we should only have 3 ingredients, right? French fries should only have 3 ingredients: fat, the salt, and the potato.
Right.
That's it. And if you look at a lot of French fries, there's a heck of a lot more ingredients in them these days.
Oh, absolutely. The coating on them to keep them crispy. It's the process.
Is it hard being a good chef?
It is. It absolutely
that
is.
would have been a spit take if you were drinking. Is it hard being a good chef?
It's hard being a chef in general, but it's definitely it's hard being a good chef.
Yeah.
It's hard working.
Is it hard being a shitty chef?
Yes, it absolutely is. We had a guest in here Sunday night that left us a review saying it's good if you like McDonald's food.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
No, I take that to heart, and those reviews. Everybody tells me, hey, just ignore that stuff.
No, how do you?
No, I beat myself up over those. I'm like, I just want to respond to them. Well, I'm
you?
not quite sure if I should take that as a compliment.
Yeah, how do you answer that?
Yeah, so.
Well, they wanted to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
I can tell. That was one of the questions that we were asking: is how do you keep it going? How do you keep the integrity of your food during a time to be pinched?
During the quarantine, the COVID shutdown of all of our restaurants, I remember a text I actually sent Zach from Colorado Mills, and I said, hey, man, I just want to let you know I appreciate the hell out of you guys and all that you've done for us since we opened. I'm still running your oil and everything I do in the restaurant during this time. I didn't compromise and bring in canola or peanut or soy. We only use their products in my kitchen. It's in my fryer. It's in my saute pans. It's in my wood-fired oven. It's in my salad dressings.
It's in your DNA.
It is. And that was a hard decision to make.
Or justify.
Absolutely. During a time where, the oil is going to last longer than the other crap oils that everybody else can bring in. But it does cost significantly more. And I'm not willing to bring my standards down just because we're in this global pandemic, because that affects the food that I can put out. And I don't want to be known for lower standards. We set
so
standard.
as your brand, Noah Siebenoller, or as the Beast and Brews brand, I mean, will you go down with the ship? Will you go down with the ethos? Will you take yourself out of business in order to keep that?
That's a hard question to answer.
It's the question to answer.
It is. It absolutely is. For me personally, I mean, it's my standards, and my blood, sweat, and tears are in this building. From like you said, it's new construction. Our wood-fired oven over there came from an older restaurant up in Monument, and it was dropped during the construction of this place and obliterated. I rebuilt that oven by hand over the course of 2 months.
And as reputation goes, the reason why the Modern Eater calls you and goes, hey, Noah, we're in a pinch. We need your advice. It's because of who you are and how you think of food.
For sure.
And your sourcing. And, I mean, say what you will, we pride ourselves on knowing a thing or two. But for us to call you up and go, hey, Spirit Guide, like you have to, when you're making those decisions in a back room somewhere and justifying expenses, that's a difficult thing when you're looking at, I could theoretically save money.
Yeah, absolutely. It is tough. Sometimes it's a matter of, all right, we're going to have to run lower labor this week and the rest of the month in order to continue putting out the best products that we can and make sure that our customers are getting what they're used to.
Is this guy here to kick your ass?
This is Mark Anthony. He's our pretzel guy.
Oh, the pretzel guy. I like a good pretzel. Now, is it the traditional ones you'd think of like the fluffy, hot, and you use mustard and you dip it, or is this a hard pretzel?
So
talk about these damn pretzels.
So Mark, he doesn't do a traditional German pretzel. It's a East Coast style pretzel. So no lie.
So it talks back to you.
Absolutely.
What's the name of his pretzel place?
It's Mark Anthony's Pretzels.
Mark Anthony's Pretzels.
Yep. So
creative fella.
He does pretzels for a handful of restaurants and bars and breweries throughout the Front Range, Denver and Colorado Springs. And when we were opening this place, he said, well, what kind of pretzels do you want? Well, let me back up. Before I even wrote the menu, his pretzels were the first thing on my menu. I said, my relationship with Mark, he's a great guy. He's treated us well. He's got great products, some of the best pretzels I've ever had. So I made room on my menu for his appetizer, or his pretzels. And he says, well, how are you going to do them, chef? And I told him, and he looked at me and said, please don't.
I implore you not to.
He's like, please don't. And I said, you got to trust me.
He's going to be good.
So after I made pretzels for him the first time.
He's hunting a beer. I'm sorry. I keep,
you're good.
I keep
you're
getting
good.
distracted. I'm like, what's he doing? I'm totally into what his energy is right now.
After I made made my version of his pretzels for him the first time, he said, oh, my God, these are the best pretzels of mine that I've ever had. And his son was in recently for his reception dinner rehearsal dinner for his wedding, and he's been eating his dad's pretzels for years. And he looked at me and says, these are the best pretzels we've ever had. So
he looks empty-handed, though, man. That freaks me out.
That one's turned off for some reason, Mark. I'll have to what'd you do to it?
Was he
over
looking
there?
for a cider? Did he bring pretzels?
Yeah, we've got pretzels.
Oh, you got pretzels?
Yeah.
All right. This guy looks like a hoot. Let's break off for a second. What do you say, Jay? SummerDinnerSeries.com.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
Yes.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
Every time I come in, and so you guys might be looking around and like, well, of course they're not doing anything. This place is empty. 2 to 4 p.m., you shut down.
We do. We
lunch
close
to
from
dinner?
Monday through Friday. We close from 2 to 4 for between lunch and dinner, so we can sanitize, reset. It's hard right now with staff too. We're running the same staff all day long. This morning when I got out of bed, the first thing I was greeted to is a text message from my server that was working lunch today. She said, hey, chef, I'm not feeling well, and due to everything that's going on, I don't think it would be wise to come and work. I said, nope, take the day off. I'll get you covered. I'm driving to work thinking, all right, who's going to cover our shift? I literally came in ready to serve tables. And then you guys called, and I was like, all right, who's coming in to serve?
That's the way you are. I love that about you, too. You work it from the bottom to the top, and
right.
When you're at the top,
it's all hands on deck, man.
Absolutely. I'm getting a John Irvin vibe, man. This is really cool. Let's have fun. This is Mark
Anthony.
Mark Bryant of Mark Anthony's Pretzels.
Mark Bryant of Mark Anthony's Pretzels. The plot thickens.
Mark Anthony Bryant.
There you go.
I get even better.
Mark Bryant's not a good restaurant name.
You didn't get. Were you looking for a cider? Is that what you were going for?
Yeah.
Okay, he's looking for a cider. We're going to pour a cider for Mark Bryant when we get back. Right here, the Modern Eater. The show continues from Beast and Brews in Colorado Springs.
Hi, guys. It's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands, because nobody likes handling taxes. That's Rebecca.Berry@Forth.com, Rebecca.Berry@Forth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on, so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Yeah, there we go. It's their summer dinner series. I'm a farmer. What's up, everybody? This is Kaibab Savage, co-founder of Savage Spectrum Winery, home of Sparklet, Palisade's newest premier sparkling wine producer, coming to you live from our vineyard. You can see this beautiful vineyard behind us. We're so happy to pair up with the Modern Eaters for the Summer Dinner Series. Check them out online, summerdinnerseries.com, to get your tickets. You could come hang out with us. You can try our latest releases of our Sparklets. It's the perfect aperitif to pair with these amazing creations the chefs are going to bring you. Can't wait to see you guys, hang out with you guys, tell you about our story, get to know you better. Hope to see you there.
Man, that was.
I just had to get hyped up. I just had to get, feeling good.
Hello and welcome back. The Modern Eater Show continues live from Beasts and Brews in Colorado Springs on the, it's going to be a good one. This next Tuesday night, Brother Luck's Dinner, summerdinnerseries.com, 1-4 top left. That's it. Go grab it. This is going to be one of those barn burners.
Do you think there's anyone on the planet who doesn't know who Brother Luck is?
Yes, actually.
There are people out there.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Mark Bryant, do you know who Brother Luck is?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Bring that mic right up close. Let's hear it.
There, is that better?
It is better.
Okay, great.
And then just a little closer. Perfect.
We want to make sure everyone can hear you.
Is that better?
Absolutely,
Okay,
it's
great.
better. Brother Luck is who?
He owns, I don't know the name of his restaurant, I just know who he is.
4 by Brother Luck.
And Lucky Dumpling.
And Lucky Dumpling. And he's doing some of the renovations. Great chef. He's doing a summer dinner series for us. We do a road trip every year for 14 days. Go get delicious ingredients. We bring them back for dinners, and we try and have some of Colorado's top chefs. I can't. Noah, next year, can we get you in the summer dinner series? Yeah. We have fun with just getting chefs to cook with local ingredients. We like local and local businesses and people that tell stories.
Hey, man, I just had a flashback. Wasn't Chef Noah one of the first-year chefs? No, I thought we had Beast. I thought we did something with Beast and Brews first year.
We stopped out at our road trip, first stop before we left.
Okay.
Mark.
So
Bryant.
that was last year.
Mark Bryant. Turn your attention. Ask him what he does.
Hey, I heard you do something with
who does
a strange thing that comes from where? Where do these
pretzels?
Where do these things come from that you make?
You just did it right there. Did you know that's what the pretzel came after? And a monk. Isn't it something? Do you know the history of pretzels?
Yeah, the pretzel was invented by a 17th century monk that taught kids to cross their hands during prayer so they wouldn't punch each other.
Do you know that? It's a true story.
So I was actually an unemployed skateboard pastor. Couldn't find a job, couldn't find any money. I had an indoor skate park, had to close it down, reaching inner city kids. And I just prayed, said, hey, God, what do you want me to do? And he says, use the gift I gave you. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I went in the kitchen, started making pretzels, started giving them away, went to a co-op kitchen and started the company.
Why pretzels?
Because it was invented by a 17th century monk, and it means to pray.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was the natural, progression.
So you prayed to God, and God sort of delivered.
Yep.
With the pretzel.
Yep. Borrowed
Is that true? That's a true story?
That's a true story.
For you?
Yep. Borrowed $2,000 from a friend to open up the co-op kitchen. Got kicked out of the co-op kitchen within 45 days because I was too busy. And went door to door to pizza parlors, begging restaurant owners to let me borrow their place.
I love that.
Between midnight and 6 a.m. Did that for a year till I could
Did you
raise
really?
Yeah.
I'm in love.
Yeah.
That's entrepreneurial spirit right there.
I love it.
Selling last year's calendar.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Mark Bryant with Mark Anthony's Pretzels. How does that work? Mark Anthony, Mark Bryant.
Mark Anthony Bryant. Mark Bryant isn't a good food name. Mark Anthony. And on the East Coast, Italians make pretzels, not German.
You'd think you'd just lose the Bryant altogether then, just to kill the confusion.
For the first year that I knew this guy, I thought his name was Mark Anthony. He's still in my phone to this day as Mark Anthony.
Most people think I'm Mark Anthony. I have two names. My kids call me Bryant or other things, depending on how much money they need.
So pretzels, pretzels were your calling.
Yes.
You didn't call them, so you weren't a professional pretzel maker at the time.
Nope.
Okay, so how did you approach actually making a pretzel people would want to eat?
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania.
I mean, I know you had God on your side.
Yeah. So actually, I went to Craigslist, bought a KitchenAid for $40.
Makes sense.
And I actually graduated from Holiday Inn University, and I opened up the very first Holiday Inn Crown Plaza on Hilton Head Island. So I had food background, so I know the food business inside and out. So I gave it up.
I feel
when
like
I
this
had
is an
kids.
episode of To Tell the Truth.
Oh, it's
I'm wondering, this is all true.
This is all true.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a history.
Keep going. I mean,
So
the opening.
got the KitchenAid. Started making after about my 200th batch of giving them away at church. People started saying, "You need to start selling these."
How big did you start with the pretzels? How big of them? How big were they?
They're about 3.8 ounces.
You didn't go with the little babies.
No, my hands are too sausagey.
Yeah. So you like the soft pretzels?
Yeah, they're true East Coast.
Yeah, I call them carnival style, right? Carnival style.
Yeah.
I got a bad review one time because somebody said they weren't traditional German pretzels.
Pretzels?
Yep.
Yeah. Ingredients.
Actually, they're very basic. They're all natural. They're vegan. No chemicals. I get my flour from Burleson, Colorado, so it's local grains.
Can you do it gluten-free?
No.
You can't?
No.
Just because you have no desire?
Well,
Because you probably could.
Well, I do about 40 to 60,000 pretzels a month.
No, you do not.
Yeah, I do. By
People
hand.
sell them?
By
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
By
So-
hand?
By hand.
In a commercial kitchen.
Yeah, and retail.
40.
And no one helps you?
I have one part-time guy, and I have a 15-year-old daughter.
And here it comes. Is this one of them here?
Yep, this is our loaded pretzel sticks on our appetizer menu.
Oh, these are the sticks.
Thanks, Ryan.
Now, this is the lazy man's pretzel, isn't it?
That's right.
The stick?
These are the ones I was telling you when I told Mark how I was going to serve them. He asked me not to.
And what do you think? You've signed up for it?
Yeah, they rock. Try 'em.
You implored him not to do it.
Yeah, because it sounded stupid.
Not your style.
No, I was like,
And you
no.
got your name on it.
So
Yeah.
I first, before he tried them together, I made the beer cheese for him, and he looked at me and said, "You're really using American cheese?" I said, "No, I'm not. That's all from scratch. It's extra sharp white and yellow cheddar, blue cheese, beer, sodium citrate to make it nice and creamy, prevent it from breaking." He's like, "No, you're not. That's processed cheese."
Isn't it funny? Cheese, the American cheese. How did we sign up for that?
Yeah.
Tell me how to approach this. You just go get it.
Just dig in.
All right, so these are
Yeah.
Mark's pretzel sticks. I think, are we the only ones you're doing the sticks for right now?
Yeah, I only do the sticks for him.
So
Now, Brian's a glutard.
Yep, I haven't been eating gluten
But
lately,
he's going
I'm
to do
gonna
it.
do it.
He's
I'm
going
gonna
to do it. That's
Right.
pretty impressive,
You'll
isn't
be
it?
in heaven.
Well,
Oh, I'm sure I will be.
For an
Sure I
hour.
will be.
Yeah.
So these are the pretzel sticks with our house-made beer cheese, red and gold pepperdew peppers, house-made bacon.
Now, he pushed this over to us to make sure that you got to get a little bit of this, right?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
that's the Murph's hand grenade sriracha aioli.
Better be hot.
Oh, I forgot to move my mic.
It's not hot.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. How do you go wrong with that? Ever. You don't. That's it.
Yeah. Just-
You've reached a mountain at that point. I bet a dessert thing. Doing those sweet would be good too, right?
Actually, I do a New York cheesecake pretzel. So I fill the centers with New York cheesecake with macerated strawberries and dark chocolate on top of
Please,
it.
God, please.
And then I do strawberry shortcake. Today I did, I ran for a special. Today my specials was I filled up a pretzel filled with Philly cheesesteak. And then I also did
Got to go to Jay. Got to go to you, Jay.
a Heath Bar pretzel with cream cheese caramel sauce, a cherry cheesecake pretzel roll, and a cinnamon pretzel roll.
Now, just getting these out to a table, you're going to sell another beer. Beer.
That's what you've got to have the pretzels on the menu.
You do.
But like I told you, it was the first item on our menu.
What's that go for on your menu?
I want to say we're at $12 for that
12?
appetizer.
I was going to say I'd pay 12. Let
me ask this question about those. Besides the fact, I just want more.
Right. They're naughty, right? Hey, have you made one called Naughty?
No.
Could you do that and spell it Naughty?
I guess if I could remember how to spell it.
Well,
so now I've gotten my distraction away because that food was just so good.
Did you try one, Jay?
It's so good. You ship them direct to people all over the country, right?
No.
But he should.
No, I was on your
But he
website.
should.
It looked like you
You're
had
on the wrong
some direct
website.
sales.
So what I do, so
Did you try it? You
I
did.
have the weirdest business model ever. It changes weekly. So I was wholesale only. So like I'm at Wynkoop, Union Station downtown, Cherry Crickets, Phantom, Bristol here. I'm all over the place. And when the coronavirus hit, I lost every customer in 30 minutes.
I believe it.
So I put up a website and started selling them door to door for $7 a dozen, and I would deliver them. And then within I guess a month, I had 10 delivery drivers, and I was doing about 1,000 dozen a week.
You were not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, and then
You pivoted.
yeah, so I do a laughing
Quickly?
lab
You did
beer
it quick?
cheese. Yeah, real quick.
But now
minute.
you're back. No door to door.
Yeah, I'm still doing door
You're
to
still
door
doing door to
3
door?
days a week. I opened up retail.
Wait, who's doing the door-to-door?
I have delivery drivers.
You trust them to do that?
Yeah.
To be the Did you train them?
Yeah.
Train me.
Okay. Here's your pretzels. This
Okay.
is where you go.
Okay.
Bring me my money.
True East Coast style.
Wow.
like that.
Holy cow. Just,
Yeah.
you'd learn that from Huggy Bear.
Always fresh, never frozen.
Never. I don't even have a freezer. Everything I make is by hand, all natural, from scratch.
How long do they last?
They usually don't last long.
Because people eat them.
Yeah.
Couldn't you send out the bake it at home kits?
No.
You couldn't do it?
I guess I could. I'll call it the naughty.
Yes, you should. Call it the Naughty. We could sell them.
Gosh, I'll tell you, they're so good.
They are good.
I want another one.
But they should be, and you can tell the freshness, right? Well, I mean, you're doing them right here. You have the dough, right?
So, no, he makes them and brings them to us. He makes them fresh. I call him up or send him a text. Hey, Mark,
That's
I need more
reheated?
pretzels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not bad.
The wheels are churning.
Well, did it come frozen?
No.
No, never
No.
frozen. We
There's
just went
no-
over that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had to ask it again.
Oh, here we go.
No, he brings them in
Are you
fresh.
going to get down on this?
Do it, Jay. Do it, Jay.
This is the true taste test, because he isn't. Huh?
So glad he's not mic'd up.
Whoa, my God. That's naughty.
That was first kiss here.
That's
on,
disgusting. Jay,
Yeah.
what do you think, man?
That
He's
was
getting in
good,
on the
Jay.
microphone.
I'll tell you this.
You dipped it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bread guy, and texture is as important to me in flavor, or as flavor is. And, man, this has both. Like, the texture of it is just nice, chewy. Like you said, East Coast, man. You know, like they do a lot of things well on the East Coast, and pretzels is one of them.
Yep.
Salt and mustard, I'd be fine.
Yeah, I make my own mustards. I make my own cheese
course you
sauces,
do.
cream cheese caramel sauces. Everything's from scratch.
Where'd you get your scratch influence and your entrepreneurship? Who'd you learn that from?
I've always been that way.
Really? What were
Yeah.
you doing as a kid, as a hustler, young hustler?
Well,
Young Mark, out hustling, selling pins and...
no, I never sold pins. I used to pitch pennies for extra at the bus stop.
Of course you
I
did.
mean, in Pennsylvania.
How does that work?
You know?
How far you pitch it?
No.
Can we get a game of that afterward?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
can make some money.
All
You
you
wanna-
do is get a quarter,
Yeah.
and the closest one to the wall,
Wall.
Or the crack.
wins it.
What's
Yeah.
the technique?
You-
You're not telling?
Just pray.
Just pray? Pray to the pretzel.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be a great
Yeah.
interview.
So, and then
I'm going to throw a quarter with this guy.
I
after this.
got, I started working in the restaurant business about 14. I took a year off when I was 18, 19 years old and bought things from Mexico because there was no internet. And we brought it up to the East Coast and sold it. And then we bought like 250 hospital beds and sold hospital beds to the Amish door to door.
How do you do that?
Well, there's always a dying person in an Amish house.
Well, right, but they can't sample it out. They just have to take the word that it's comfortable.
Well, you have a hospital bed. There's not many people go into their house.
Yeah, let me describe this hospital bed to you.
Well, yeah, so we just had a trailer of hospital beds.
What's the door-to-door thing, though? Is that just because people don't want to see other people now?
Yeah, they do, if you can talk good enough.
Really?
If you can make enough crap up,
all right,
trust me,
come to my door.
What's that old dazzle them with BS?
I want to hear pretzel sales. I really do. Because you can't go to the door and go, give me your money, here's my pretzels.
No, but all you have to do is all you have to do is get them to try it.
Really?
Once you get it in their mouth, they're
So are
done.
you bringing fresh pretzels door to door?
Well, I never actually, when I started the door to door, everybody on Facebook told me I was an idiot. So I was like, they're like, there's a coronavirus, Mark. You can't do that. You're an idiot. But I'll buy a bag. So then I put it on Facebook and it exploded. And then Facebook exploded. Then the Gazette did a big article on me, and Independent and the Business Journal, and
here it is.
Yeah,
I've been telling this guy from day one, you need Facebook. You need social media. From day one.
I use Facebook, but I use it for guns and horses.
That's what I told him. I said, you need a personal page, you need a business page.
Yeah.
Get yourself off the business page. But it just goes to show how much social media does what we want during lockdown.
It's so ironic. I made reference before we brought you on the show. You're probably wondering, who's John Irvin? I said, we got John Irvin coming on the show. This guy is unapologetically him. I see that about you. You're unapologetically Mark. He's the other side of it. He actually makes gluten-free bread, John Irvin, and he loves to talk about it. But I have a feeling you'd probably talk about a couple political views on Facebook when you shouldn't.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
I have someone doing my marketing now.
Yeah, so does John.
Because I actually
do. You know John?
I don't.
You haven't seen some of his stuff? We'll turn you on to a couple of food service Facebook groups and see how you act.
Yeah. I'm not allowed on Facebook or Instagram anymore. So I'm allowed to scroll but not talk.
I love it. I love it.
He's got a couple of, they call those catfish. Catfish accounts.
What's catfish?
Just like you're as someone else.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm like, I have people come in, hey, you said this. I was like, oh, did I?
Are you Mark Twain on Facebook? We know you have these Mark aliases. What else should we know about? I mean, obviously, did we tell people how to get these for themselves?
Well, not yet.
Right, actually, you can go to Mark Anthony Pretzels.
Okay.
And the way it works is, or you can like us on Facebook and Instagram, of course. I'm on there all the time.
Yes, he is.
I never stop. So the way I work, I only really have 4 items. I have a pretzel by the dozen, and then I actually have Italian flatbread, and then I actually have a mozzarella braid, and then I have my sauces, and I don't sell anything else until Thursday. Whatever I feel like making for that day or for that weekend, I run specials. Everything changes every weekend. Last weekend, I did a 2-pound stuffed spinach artichoke pretzel for parties, and delicious. I did a party pack. And, of course, this weekend's the Philly cheesesteak. I did armadillo eggs, which is jalapenos with cheese stuffed in a pretzel ball. I did Monte Cristo pretzel balls a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Ham, turkey, Swiss cheese, raspberry jelly, and then the pretzels rolled in.
How about just
and this is all by hand?
Sugar.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is all by hand.
Yeah. I did a pizza and nobody freaking bought it.
Really?
So I'm not going to do it again.
Some people say,
Sorry.
pretzel's just a fancy word for a breadstick.
That's right.
Well,
would you agree?
But speaking of that, and sorry to interrupt.
No.
Have you ever explored pretzel bread? Someone made me a sandwich once with pretzel bread.
I can do it, no problem. I can do hoagie rolls. I can do bread. I can do crostinis. I can do, I can do whatever you want me to do if you want enough of it. I'll do.
He'll do it.
Yeah.
He'll go door to door for you if you want.
I
Bring
used
it right
to
to
do
your house.
pretzel roll sliders. I would use his. He would make me pretzel sliders, and I would use those as slider rolls.
Yeah, I
for
do
an
tons
appetizer.
of sliders. Yeah, hamburger buns. I mean,
You found your calling.
yeah.
Are you balling with this, man? You making some money right now?
Not enough.
Not. He didn't show his card.
Why? Did you want to give me some?
Well, listen, I think I'll be buying some pretzels at least. That's for sure. So not subscription based. You can't get your pretzel fill sent to you at home. You'll do whatever bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out.
Contact him directly.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want enough of them, I'll just drive them wherever you are.
I love the interview.
He's personally delivering these himself to the restaurants up in Denver that are using them.
So you're coming all the way to Denver?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and if a chef is listening to it and he doesn't have my pretzels, he's a freaking idiot.
Well,
no offense.
Let me ask you this. A lot of bars and breweries are trying to stay open by saying that they're serving food. Have they determined whether pretzels are suffice for as far as food serving at this point?
I think that depends on the municipality that you're in. Down here, definitely. With the laws for us down here, El Paso County variants, they were able to serve alcohol and stay open as long as they're partnering with a restaurant or a food truck. I mean, it could be a restaurant next door even.
It's a brewery, a good brewery fit. Hey, man, thank you so much. We enjoyed them.
It's my pleasure.
Immensely.
This is awesome.
Absolutely. And then introduce this young lady who's coming up next.
This is Brooke with Nektr Kombucha.
Brooke from Nektr Kombucha will be
thank
next.
you so much.
And we love kombucha.
Yes. Just like my story with Mark, I've got a funny story about the first time I ever met Brooke and her partner with Nektr Kombucha. I had this weird idea in my head what kombucha was, and without ever tasting it before, I said, no, I don't want it. I hate it.
You thought it would be vinegary?
No, I love vinegar.
I always... But not to just drink recreationally,
absolutely.
really?
Yes, what's
wrong
wrong
with
with you?
Sip on some vinegar
Hell
on a
yeah.
Oh, you
patio.
haven't had any of the new vinegar seltzers and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Drinking vinegars. And
that's, no, not for me. But I do love kombuchas. But the whole thing that concerns me is the more and more that it is to the taste of the consumer, the higher the sugar content gets.
I was just going to say that.
And, therein lies the rub. Theoretically, I love what it's supposed to be like.
Right.
Great for your gut, good gut health.
But I think we've got an expert right here. We need
know.
to ask her
That's why
about her
We're priming
kombucha.
it up. She's coming up next.
Beautiful.
As the Modern Eater Show continues. From Beast and Brews in Colorado Springs, we are outsourcing on a lovely day. Man, what time is it? 4:15 down in Colorado Springs. And it's going to be a beautiful sunset.
It sure is.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come right back and continue live right here. It's called Nektr. And how do you spell it? Nektr. Love the spelling. Should be a snowboard, too.
And it's on tap here at Beast and Brews. I had one.
it is.
Yeah.
We've got two different.
I need some more, but I don't have time.
For what? How
Was
long
that
of
an
a break
ask?
do we
Yeah,
have?
was that an ask or a tell?
How long of a break do we have?
Couple minutes.
All right, a couple minutes. I'm going to get a little bit of beer. We'll be back. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. Our all-new Abbey 4-pack contains the main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So with the 4-pack, you'll get a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple, one of each. Most monastery breweries will make 2 to 4 of these. Some of them make all 4. And American craft breweries like Brews that specialize in Belgian beers will make multiple versions of the Big 4 throughout the year. So where can you get an Abbey 4-pack? Well, you can get it at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos in Midtown, or in the East Colfax neighborhood at Colfax and York. You can also find them at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver area. So get yours today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com, and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
Okay, welcome back, and thanks for joining us live from Beasts and Brews in Colorado Springs. This morning, I woke up in Victor, Colorado, out on a little sourcing road trip, trying to get ingredients for Chef Brother Luck's Tuesday night summer dinner series dinner. So what do? We had in the car last night. It's like, okay, we need to go get some protein. So we had it licked, right? We
thought.
we're going to get from Centennial Cuts, we're going to get some beef. And the short ribs, 25 pounds, beautiful, they're coming. Chicken, we thought, all right, we're going to go up to Victor, Colorado. We're going to harvest some chickens. We'll bring 8 back. All's well in the world. No. Got to go through a USDA processing plant. We like to just get some chickens, backyard, Brooke.
Yeah.
You go get them in the backyard, you harvest them, you have them for dinner.
Chop their heads off.
Apparently not if you're serving it to people that are paying for it. They've got to go through a little weird USDA facility so that,
I think you could get around with that by saying, you're buying the ticket, but you're getting the food for free.
I like your spirit.
Oh, yeah.
I like your spirit for sure. So we pivoted, and we called our buddy, because Chef Noah Siebenaller here at Beasts and Brews said, all the time. He cares about how he sources his ingredients, so we're going to call it. And chickens are tough because there are not too many processing plants here. For chickens, there's one in Westcliff, there's one in Durango called Sunnyside, and we decided, all right, we're going to give Noah a call. Up the street in the Black Forest, I don't know if you know Moe's Eggs or not.
I do.
She's going to come by.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to get some chickens for Brother Luck's dinner, so that's why we're here.
That sounds delicious.
Chicken, and then pork belly you sourced for us from McDonald Farms up in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yep.
So
and I just spoke
right?
to Taylor earlier, and he is pumped and stoked to be part of this dinner series.
So all's well in the world. We're eating pretzels. We had a delicious did you eat lunch?
I had a late breakfast, so I haven't had. I've been brewing
Can we
kombucha
get
all
anything
day.
for you?
That means margarita, as you talk about kombucha.
Liquid lunch.
This looks delicious, and we'll talk about kombucha. So first of all, a lot of people know what kombucha is, which is really interesting how kombucha has really just come on the scene in the past few years.
Well, it's become more mainstream in the past few
agree.
years. Kombucha's been around in the old
seem
hippie communes for years and years and years.
Hundreds of years.
Yes.
Doesn't it seem like just everybody's trying to produce kombucha at this point in time? I mean,
I see people on Facebook, kombucha started. And
it can be, I don't
Bring
know.
that right in close so we hear There you go. Awkwardly close. You feel
Okay.
awkward yet? All right, then it's good.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, a lot of people are making it at home, which can be a bit of a beast. That's actually how we started out. We were just drinking a lot of it, so we were bored one day, like, oh, okay, well, we'll make it at home.
Let's get a SCOBY.
Yeah, it seems easy enough, and we actually grew our first SCOBY from a bottle of just plain GTs, which you can do just put it on the counter, and then it will eventually just start to take over your whole entire kitchen, and then your whole house will smell like vinegar, which is something
So you got
may
at
or
it,
may
and you're
not
like,
want.
hey, we might be able to do this. Is the Nektr, man. This is good stuff. We're doing good with this.
Well, we were making it, and we had some friends that were building metric brewing, and so my boyfriend / business partner was helping them with the construction process. And so, of course, they're just getting cases of beer while they're building this thing. So we're making kombucha at home, and I'm shoving it at him, take this with you to have something other than beer to drink during the day. And not that beer's not great, but just don't drink beer from 9 in the morning, to 6 o'clock at night.
Let's break it up with a little kombucha, please.
And one of the owners of Metric actually hated kombucha, kind of like Noah, hated kombucha, and we were just making this at home, and he was like, oh, this is really good. And then they started talking about it, and they're like, you should make this for us. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll give it a whirl, and that was about 2 years ago. And it's kind of grown naturally, I'll say. The more people that find out about it and try it, and they're like, I hate kombucha. And I'm like, you're my target customer. Come try this.
All right, now we'll dig in. Okay, so Brooke's here. Brooke, what's her last name?
It is Stewart.
Brooke Stewart's here with us from Nektr.
Yes.
Nektr.
Yes.
Okay, you probably got that domain. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, we did.
You were able to get that. Nektr.com, man.
Yeah.
It's a good one. And so people start to say, okay, this is pretty good. This is delicious. You should produce it. Now it's went from a hobby, something you like to do, to a business.
Yep.
How do you do that?
We're still finding that transition. We're still finding a lot of balance. We still both work our full-time jobs, so we've got full-time jobs, and then this baby of a company that we're rearing. We're actually getting ready to open a tap room, and we're doing the Old Colorado City Farmers Market. So we're kind of just busy all the time. But
have you signed a lease?
we have. We're actually subletting a production space with Patrick from Annapurna Mead. So he needed some more space for canning and storage. So we're subletting some space from him in an industrial type of building, and then there was some space in the front of it that we've built out into a tap room, and we're actually opening that next Thursday, so a week from now. So we're still
Careful about your leases
finding
right
the balance.
now.
Yeah,
It's a tough time.
absolutely.
Well, and truly, because when you got into this, I'm sure it was pre-COVID.
Yeah. It's been about 2 years. So, but
Really?
we've actually been really busy. I don't even want to say post-COVID because we're not there yet. But the to-go has been pretty good for us.
I was going to say, because your restaurant, I don't know if you're on handles or if you just pour it out of a bottle.
Were we your first tap handle in the Springs or second?
Post-Metric, you guys were our first.
Other than Metric Brewing, we were the first tap handle, and I love every week. So when Brooke says that they both have full-time jobs, she's understating it. They both have full-time jobs in very busy industries, especially during COVID right now. Plus, they handle their social media. They have some of the best social media that I've seen for a locally owned brand.
So you're subsidizing this, is what you're saying.
But during COVID, they were always there for us. They said, hey, we're getting glass in. Do you guys want some? I said, absolutely. Do you care if I sell kombucha or beer? And they're like, whatever to help you guys out. They brought us their glass. We're selling kombucha and beer during COVID to go. I actually sold more kombucha than I did beer during to go. They came up and we created
Interesting.
we created a
Must be
kombucha
delicious.
margaritas.
We should taste it.
Yeah, we actually did. She came up, her and Austin came up for the day, and we did kombucha margaritas in the glass bottles to go for Cinco de Mayo. And we sold the.
Now, when you say come up, they're on the south side of the Springs. Is that where are you?
Oh, we live downtown. So we're distribute a little bit of everywhere.
So you and Austin are rich.
Oh, no.
You can buy glass
Spiritually.
bottles.
We're rich spiritually.
You got a lot of money. I mean, the burn rate right now. I mean,
No, it's that's where we're working our full-time jobs. It's all just like coming out of our pockets at this point, but it is an investment, and obviously we believe in it. And other people believe in it, and it's something that, like I said, we're really busy right now. We're selling a lot of kombucha. So it's still, we haven't hit that tipping point where either of us is not going to be going to our regular jobs right now.
We can't keep paying for that.
Yeah.
Can I ask about the packaging real quick? Just
Absolutely.
a little backup, Greg, real quick, fast. All glass, glass, aluminum cans. What are you doing?
All glass.
And kegs.
All glass and kegs, yes. So we do the kegs for a lot of breweries or coffee shops in town, and then we do these glass ones to go, which, like I said, we're at the farmers market, so we do these at the farmers markets. We'll do these in the tap rooms. We do hope to start canning eventually. It is a very large investment, so that's kind of going to be a phase or two down after this tap room, and we're right now working on expanding our brewing. So we just got some new bigger brewing vessels, so we're going to be brewing about 3 times the rate that we were previously. So canning is in the future. I think cans kind of fit with our style a little bit better, like clean.
That's good.
Isn't that a super approachable?
Is that a pear?
This is a passion fruit lime. We actually just
so
did this for the
good.
farmers market last week, and it went over
Actually,
really, really well.
I bought that one at the farmer's market.
Brooke, I got to tell you, this is, at the beginning of the segment, you said, I wanted to make a kombucha that would convert people.
Yeah.
It does.
It's like my favorite thing.
It's super approachable. Did you take any classes? You taught yourself from YouTube or what?
No, we literally started from like a diagram on Instagram. And we were just making it for us at home because, like I said, we were kind of bored. I don't know what that feels like anymore. But just trial and error, really. And then we nailed down the recipe that we like. We kind of just go for flavors that we enjoy and try and make it approachable. We do like a double dry hopped kombucha that we modeled after a wit beer. And that one is really, really popular for people who like IPAs or beers, but they either A, don't want to drink a beer, or they don't drink, or like in between drinks.
That was actually the first one that we brought in that sold us on it.
Yeah.
What's the end game?
The end game is to just keep making way more beers.
Are you getting a hold of Whole Foods and natural grocers? You want some shelf space? What are you looking for?
We're not there yet, so we really are targeting more like breweries or athletic type places, infiltrating taps right now because kegs are kind of the game that we're in right now. Like I said, we'll eventually can, and then when we get there, we're keeping it really local right now. Like, we enjoy building relationships with the places that we're at. Like, we don't just go in and throw down a sales pitch and then, okay, see ya. We're building relationships with the people that own these places and maintaining them and investing in each other. And we'll do, I think, the same thing with cans. We'll get into some local grocery stores and things like that. And then eventually, if the ball keeps rolling, things like Whole Foods.
So you like the can model?
Yeah, I think it just fits our design is kind of just really more modern and edgy and
so
sleek.
Who does that? I mean, Rowdy Mermaid does cans.
They do.
Happy Leaf does cans.
They do.
And you look around, and I like to do kind of contrast by comparison. What are some of the flavors out there? So there's a few brands that I like. Revive, I like their cola. I like that in live as well, live kombucha. I like to do a little mix of a couple of things because I like the carbonation level, obviously.
Well, she is I was going to ask her about that. She's much
That's
lighter
big.
carbonation.
Mm-hmm. So we force carbonate our kombucha to control alcohol. So you get the more carbonated in a second ferment when you let that happen at room temperature, but that's also when you get your alcohol production. And obviously we're not making an alcohol product. So we do our first ferment and then we cold crash it in the cooler, and that's when we flavor it at a cooled temperature, obviously in the refrigerator, and then we keg it and force carbonate it. So it allows us to make a consistent product and to know that we're not going to broach the levels of over the alcohol limit because that's not where we want to be. That's not
where I
we're
was
selling.
going with that are like, what were some of the brands that you were like, all right, I kind of like that type of thing?
I mean,
because GT's too much for me.
See, and I love GTs.
Do you really?
Personally.
It's
that's
like
the only
that's
other
eating
one
a
that I
meal.
drink.
Yeah.
To me, that's like eating a meal. It's very
Well,
thick.
each bottle is 2 servings.
Is it?
It is.
All right, and so I'm probably on the more of a boutique or more mainstream.
Well, I like the
style
upslope or the Happy Leaf, which I
you?
would compare. I hope that's not an insult,
No,
but I find hers way more
Actually,
approachable,
yeah.
a lower carbonation.
Like the rose in the
yeah, exactly. The rose in the upslope rose is great. I mean, it's just real approachable. It's something that's easy.
Because they do vary from brand to brand.
Oh, Lord,
I mean, significantly. Live Kombucha's done a great with the carbon. Is that force carbonated? The Live? Have you seen the Live?
I don't think so. I believe they do, though. Some kombucha brands are now actually
'Cause they're
not
ginger
really fermenting. They're like
Really?
making a tea and they're adding a probiotic.
Now, is that in the labeling? Because if you look at whiskey, it's like fermented by, distilled by. I mean, there should be that transparency.
Some of the wording, like some of them call it, and I can't think of the name of the brand, but they call it like a probiotic drink.
Oh, yep.
And I think that might be what Rowdy Mermaid's doing these days. And I'm not sure on them, but if you read the instructions, like it'll say tea, and then it will say like live culture, probiotic culture. So it is a little bit different, but it's at the same time like they're trying to create a consistent product. They're trying to make sure that it's not alcoholic. If you don't ever ferment it, then obviously you don't have to worry about that process. But most commercial breweries are going to force carbonate. You don't really see second carbonation unless you're doing it at home or on a smaller level, but that's not it's not something that we're willing to
Brooke, help
to
me. If you
sacrifice
force
or risk.
carbonate, does that mean you can put it on a gun, or in a like
just all together, like a beer would do the same thing.
Yeah.
You can naturally carbonate or force carbonate, and a lot of times, just the method of brewing is what's going to bring that out. And forced carbonation is just to get that consistency that she was talking
Well,
about.
Greg, let me ask you. Maybe the question in a different way is if because obviously price point, right? Everything's about price point.
Yep.
If you could put it in a box and compete with like the tractor soda guys, or even to get something mainstream like Pepsi, is that something that kombucha could it go that way now that we're making more of a probiotic beverage, like you just explained?
I think they can, and other people are doing it differently, so it doesn't have to be that you don't ferment. There's a company in England, actually, and we met them. We were over there a couple summers ago, and they their name is Jar, and their owner is awesome. But they still go through the whole fermentation process, and then they filter out to like a micron filter, so they're actually removing the yeast and bacteria. So you still have everything that's been fermented into it, but they're taking out the bacteria. So it's not like boiling it and
Is it kombucha at that
sterilizing
point?
it.
I mean, you gotta call it something different, right?
Technically, it is.
There's a brand called Titula. I think that's what it's called, but they call it tea soda.
Yeah.
And so I was checking out with it the other day, and someone said, "Well, isn't that kombucha?" And I'm like, "No, well, no, it's not going through the fermentation."
they've not fermented it. Yeah.
So, but delicious in its own right, but not to be mistaken. I think kombucha should be in a very precise category that
It's
it
just
is.
so everybody does it different.
Yeah.
You know, there's green tea, black tea blends. We do a blend of black and green tea. Some people do white tea. You know, the spectrum is huge, and then what sugars and how long, and
Well, and then you
if
have
you're
a June.
filtering
What's
and-
a June
A
kombucha?
June is a green tea kombucha, which is amazing. We've made a June before, and it is something we'll revisit in the fall. So it's green tea and honey, so you use honey instead of cane sugar. You have to grow, it's got its own specific SCOBY that's made to eat honey as opposed to sugar. And they're really good, obviously more expensive to produce since you're using honey. But really a more mild flavor, and it ferments a lot quicker because the sugar's already broken down, so the yeast doesn't have to. It's just already.
You ever heard of 2 Chainz?
I don't think so.
2
The
Chainz?
rapper?
Yeah, the rapper 2
Oh,
Chainz.
yeah. No, remember, I'm
we got
old
2
guy.
watches on with us today, Brooke. You carry 2. Is that a watch?
Oh no, this is a Whoop band. So Austin actually got this for me for my birthday. They're awesome. So they track. it does.
He's tracking you.
So
Austin is tracking you.
Yeah, Austin's like,
She
hey,
seems
sweetheart, I love you, but let me get you this thing.
And let me sell
it
this
doesn't
to
really
you.
come off once I put it on.
And I can shock you.
It's a teal handcuff. No, so it tracks all of your activity.
Yeah.
So it's for fitness. So it takes like 100 readings a second of like your.
Weird how that iPhone watch does that too.
Well, it does, but not at the same like consistency. So what it does
Thanks,
really, what it does really is it calculates your recovery. So it lets you know like when you should be training harder and when you should be resting. That's kind of the whole point.
Is that what you're
of
up
this
to
thing.
these days?
No rest, no.
You and Austin shocking each other.
Yeah, this is actually a shock band, and if one of us is
get up, be out of
line.
Would you call it? So there's two styles of iPhone watches right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a ladies and a gentleman's on that size wise on those watches?
So this is the smaller one, and they do make a larger one.
Yeah.
So
but not.
He's trying to set you
gentlemen.
up because see, I got the smaller one.
He's
I got a smaller
girl's
wrist,
Well,
and I'm like, doesn't it look perfect though? It looks great on my wrist. Besides, I need to make some man statement that you know.
No, we went and bought them together because
He's
ladies.
so foolish.
That's cute.
Isn't it cute? That's how we do things.
Yeah, I bought my girlfriend one, and I got us both this 40 just because when I tried it on, it fits.
It looks better.
Yeah, it looked better.
It's all about
And-
like what's more comfortable. Plus, you don't want to be hitting it all the time. If it's too wide
Exactly.
for your wrist, you'll be just
You ever
like,
watch Shark
smashing
Tank?
into everything. I have. Yeah.
Can I Shark Tank you? Take a break and Shark Tank you?
Sure. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Let's do
I
it.
want to see what the next step for this business is.
Okay.
Let's poke holes in it.
Okay.
Do you like that?
Let's have
I mean,
fun.
that's good.
Let's
Who
do
gets
it.
Who
I don't
does that
scare
to you?
easy. Yeah,
Nobody,
no one. Yeah.
right?
Well,
you need that.
she's
as
sharp,
businesses.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
she has a real job, and she's not like, oh, I'm giving up everything and I'm going to go make kombucha. She's like, I'm realistic.
But they
I'm
may
gonna
call
keep my
those
job
people
and-
entrepreneurs instead of entrepreneurs.
No, I don't think. There's a
It's time
day
to
when
give-
you can give it
Well,
up.
Is
There's
it a
a day when
hobby
you
or
can
is it a
give it up.
business? Is it a hobby or
It's
business right now?
At one point, it
Let me
will
ask you.
flip into the other.
And then-
It's definitely a business at this point. It is not going to make me more money than I make at my job, though. So
When will you know when to
Thank
turn
you.
one
That's-
off or one off?
when it can pay me my salary, or when it just gets to the point where we can't give enough to the business and realistically keep working.
Obviously, you know the difference between sweat equity and potential equity.
Yeah,
You're in your sweat equity phase.
absolutely.
There's potential equity.
Yeah.
Do you believe that potential equity is there
Oh,
right
absolutely.
now with this brand?
Yeah.
All right, let's figure it out. We're going to Shark Tank. If you don't mind. If
Oh
you don't
yeah,
want to.
I'm go for it.
Have some fun. I don't think Mo's coming. Is she here?
Yep, I just saw
Yep,
her
she
pull up.
just came in.
Oh, she just pulled up. All
Yeah.
right. Well, and we're going to play Shark Tank when we get back and then talk to Mo where we're getting our chickens from. I think she probably has a cooler full of them. They're
in the-
frozen, right?
They're already in the cooler.
They're already
Yep.
in the cooler.
They're already in the
Perfect.
cooler.
All right. Beast and Brews and all's well in the world. Jay, why aren't you standing up to block that sun from me, please?
It's setting, so I'm able to get a little bit lower here to block my equipment.
Cool. I'll tell you about Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions when we return on the Modern Eater Show.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves Rome sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of our sales newly appointed hospitality specialist, Felina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of chai. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Felina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here, and as I come in here, I'm noticing, Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful... Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment, and maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Okay, back here from Beasts and Brews, right? Brian, you want to play Shark Tank?
We're gonna play Shark Tank.
Who do you identify with on Shark Tank? If you were one of the Shark Tank.
Barbara.
Can you do Jeff Rourke first?
Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. I'm telling you what, if you look behind us, you see 100 taps. This is a self-serve. That's not an easy install at all. Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, family-owned and operated, been in the business for 20 years. That's how you get the experience to do jobs like this. Most trusted man, and you want to give him a call because pouring inefficient beer does what?
Pours your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. You just got to give him a phone call. Pouring that foam into, I've seen the worst of the worst. Foam into a pitcher, you take off the head, you pour it into another cup, you get that out there. It's terrible.
But here you get to see everything that can go through those tap lines that he installs for people. You get to see wine. You get to see beer. You get to see
margaritas,
spirits in the form of margarita mixed,
hey, guess what?
And straight vodka.
Kombucha.
You get to see kombucha.
Out of a tap line. Coffee, wine, water, spirits. No problem. Jeff Rourke can add a line. Give him a call. 720-272-3809.
Wait 1 second. Let me get my pen.
Do you have it?
I got it.
All right. 720-272-3809. Give him a call. His name's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Who do you identify with?
I was just thinking, you know who
I
I
like
identify
Mark
with?
Cuban. I think he's pretty.
I would say the guest for me. One of the guys that I like the best is the guy who made the drinks, the water.
Yeah,
that brought that. That's the one that I
Smart
sort of
water.
identify.
Yeah.
With.
Now, what he would do is he would look for founders of companies that can't take it any further.
Yeah,
they're entrepreneurs, and that you hit that entrepreneurial ceiling. And once you're at that ceiling, you don't want do you infuse more money and capital? Do I give up equity? You come into all of these things, but for the most part, entrepreneurs are very specific of where they want their brand to go, and they won't release that control. That's a very interesting proposition when you don't know how to grow the business any further. Okay, so Brooke.
Yes.
Nektr.
Yes.
Nektr.
Mm-hmm.
That's your brand. Now, before we even qualify you for the Shark Tank, we have to ask a couple of questions. Are you having any growth inhibitors right now?
I think the only growth inhibitors that we're having are anything that we're putting on ourselves. But we're busting through those pretty quickly. Like I said, with the new equipment and bigger space, we're pushing forward.
You own it 50-50 with Austin?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And
on paper,
you don't need cash infusion at all?
So
you have capital?
We are doing our own cash infusion. So all the money's coming from us.
So you can keep it 100% your company.
Exactly.
Obviously. So you're funding that. Do you have a cap on what you're putting into it? Do you mind if I ask how much you put into it?
No, it's kind of a little bit at a time, like as we see that it's needed. Like I said, we're doing this tap room right now, so that obviously required an influx of cash. But we're able to do everything. Austin's really good at like construction type things, so he designed it and built it, and so he's able to keep it a lot cheaper.
Are you able to fill purchase orders?
Yes.
And you keep up with that?
Yeah, we are.
So sales can go right alongside of production.
Yes. So we are not taking on more customers than we know that we can service. It's important to us to keep our existing customers happy. But with this newer equipment, we'll be able to add quite a bigger load than what we're currently doing.
Have you written a vision statement or mission
1 year
statement?
of?
I think it's kind of evolving. We have kind of always an evolving plan. This tap room was the first, like the next thing that we wanted to come to fruition, and it's almost done. So next will be production, amping up our production, and then hopefully canning. So it's evolving a little bit, but we have a long-term vision that we're always working towards.
Is that a local brand, a national brand, an international brand? Where do you see that falling?
I would say somewhere between local and national.
Mm-hmm.
So just realistically, GT's owns like 95% of the kombucha market, I think was the last statistic. And every other kombucha company in the whole United States owns the other 5%.
Sounds like beer.
Yeah.
Truly
so,
does.
Yeah, if we could corner, like we're working on Colorado Springs right now, and then Colorado, maybe these surrounding markets. And then to go national, it just does come with a lot more hoops.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that as something that we're wanting or even looking towards right now.
Are you building to sell?
Yes, absolutely.
You are?
Yeah. I mean, it's always it's always at least an option. We're building a product and a brand that we believe in. So either a franchise, we've talked about that too, doing like franchises of like Nektr Hangout, where you can do these like tap rooms, things like that, and then Nektr To Go, which would be like the cans and things like that. Or, if a big company came along and wanted to buy us out, I think that we would at least definitely consider it. It's not like so emotional, it's not like an emotional business.
So if you're building to sell, here's what they're looking for. They're looking for accounts, they're looking for recipes, and they're looking for a great brand name.
Yep.
Are you doing what you need to do to build all three of those?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Social media, marketing, things like that are on point.
Scaling and procedures are being put in place?
Yep. So we're always testing for alcohol, pH, things like that. So recording.
Would you ever get into the alcohol market?
Yes, it's something that we really, really want to
yeah,
explore. Yeah, there's not a ton. The alcoholic kombucha they have on tap here is good, and I don't remember which one it is. It might be Giant. I don't know. But the good ones are far less than the not so good ones. So if we could nail down a recipe, obviously we want to get everything on this side of the business going and kind of maintaining itself, and then we'll start exploring things like that. But I absolutely is something that we're talking about. We also want to do like a CBD kombucha. Still federally illegal to put CBD in food or beverage, and a lot of companies are doing it, but we obviously can't take that risk right now, being so small.
It's such a buzzword right now, too. I wouldn't spread yourself too thin on that.
It is,
one.
yeah. We kind of want to just like a one-off type thing, or something that we offer, but definitely not something that envelops our brand. And it may eventually be like an umbrella or something like that, and not even like a Nektr product. Something that we'd like to explore because it is. So I don't want to say just because it's trendy, but because there is science behind it too. But
okay. Buy low, sell high, and use other people's money.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, right now we're bad at the using other people's money now, but we're working. We find value in working hard to be able to grow this business on our own. I think
you guys seem very grounded. I mean, truly, and not trying to get outside of your lane, but obviously, as you see now, too, what I would encourage you, and who cares. But the less touch, I don't know that the taproom model is very viable. I'd like to see more direct to consumer, and obviously you built a lot of this stuff pre-COVID. But right now it's just such a different world. But those right now people are doing business with other people, not necessarily with other brands. So if you can keep people happy and they love to, like Noah, he loves to do business with you because you're basically there just to help him and support him.
Yeah,
that's the way to go. I don't see any holes in it. I mean, basically as much as you can take and as much as you can do.
I want to ask her one last thing though before we let her go. What what do you see as the biggest issue with your industry?
I think
Kombucha industry?
Yeah, in the kombucha
or beverage?
industry. No, I mean beverage is big and lots of bigger problems. But kombucha is sort of in my opinion, it's like this toddler that's growing up real fast.
Yeah.
And getting real awkward, and then the alcohol, and now I've got this toddler that's all of a sudden a teenager, and what do we do, and how do we wrangle it in? And like Greg and my probably biggest complaint, sugar.
Yeah.
That some of them are so damn sweet. It's like you're not.
You're defeating the purpose of where you're thinking that you're doing good for your health.
Yeah. So that's what I'm curious. So where do you see it derailing a little bit? Or
I think just in the consistency of the product, because like we were saying before, some people aren't even fermenting it anymore. It's still sold under kombucha. There's no good way yet to regulate it. There's not even really great ways to test the alcohol of it because the alcohol volume is so low. It's hard to accurately test that. So the market and the products, and they're working on things. And if you're GTs, you can get these $1 million machines that take the alcohol out for you. But there's not a lot of good regulation or guidelines for how you, and it's also and I hate it, it's very like secretive, and like nobody wants to, like it's kombucha, it's tea and sugar. It's really not that crazy. But other companies are if you're looking for someone to kind of help give you some guidance, it's not there.
Interesting.
And it's weird because
brewers
it's not
aren't really
like,
that way.
No, this is
It was funny
breweries
because
and coffee, it's not like that.
we went up to I'll just say Happy Leaf's facility, and they didn't want us to look around because they said one of the people that worked for us knew our thing. But and you're right, it's like we're making kombucha.
It's really not that
it's not
difficult.
It's
like you're not doing anything.
What's proprietary about it?
Exactly. You're not doing anything. Like this recipe has been around for hundreds of years.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything that crazy. So like, can we just talk about it?
Yeah. That's
you would think, and I think it's just it's coming from fear,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and when you come from a place of fear, you're sort of you're really handcuffing yourself, and you're stopping your own growth. But we know, and because there was two companies in Denver, quite honestly, and that story goes deeper with Happy Leaf, and as you know, they used to do classes. So Happy Leaf Kombucha, Jenny and Mike, the founders of it, used to do these classes, and they have taught other people in the industry. Well, what had happened is another person
what
in the
had
industry.
happened was, but listen, doesn't that transcend through any industry?
Oh,
I mean,
of course,
you teach someone your trade, and then they break off, they do their own thing, and
Well, and we're kind of the mindset that high tides raise all ships. Like the more kombucha there is out there, because people do have different preferences, but the more that's out there, the more that people know about it, the more they like it, the more they're seeking it, the more they're expecting to see it at places like this. So we don't get competitive and weird like that. Actually, the tap room that we're doing, there's another local Colorado Springs kombucha company that's in there.
Yeah. Nice.
And then the mead company. So we're of the mindset that we're all kind of in this together, and it's really not, nobody here is doing anything that crazy, guys.
You were a delightful interview, Brooke.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed our time with you, and
Absolutely.
I'd encourage people, because we tried it, not that we're the authority, but I think we know good taste of things.
Hell yes.
Right off the bat, and what's the flavor of that one?
This is a passion fruit lime.
It's delicious.
Thank you.
And Nektr is the brand. Look them
But
up.
I liked her strawberry. Jay's drinking the because you have a strawberry mint.
Yeah, there's strawberry mint here, and then they have, I think, blueberry ginger.
Yes,
on
blueberry
top.
ginger. And great, Jay, you were drinking the blueberry ginger. How do you like that?
Are you weird about alcohol content, Jay, on kombuchas, being a former drinker?
I mean, it's like I've had NyQuil, during my sobriety,
you got the
right?
tussin'?
So I don't count that as a drink. I mean, if Jesus or anybody wants to come down and goes, hey, listen, well, technically you've had alcohol, just so you know.
Were you abusing it? Did you do it for that?
The NyQuil?
Yeah.
No. No, I wasn't
Listen,
drinking.
that's not a crazy question.
Were you getting bottle service, Jay?
Well, I mean, I put a little on the rocks, but I think that just goes down a lot smoother. I think that it helps your ailment a lot when it's cold.
Some people say Jaeger.
Now, I'll say this, though. My cold tends to last through the whole bottle. Usually right around when the bottle finishes is when I start to feel, better.
How's Nektr?
It's delicious, and you know what I like the most about it is that it's not too sweet. and it's not too bitter, but I can actually go more on the bitter side for kombucha. I like certain things sweet. Kombucha's not real one of them. And Happy Leaf to me is a little bit, I wouldn't say too sweet, but it's a little too sweet, right? So this, and not knowing Brooke or anything about Nektr, I really liked it the first blush just because of it's that happy medium of, man, this is some good kombucha.
What's your kombucha brand?
I do those lives. And I really love the carbonation and stuff. I do the Coke one. I like to get, I'm a big diet soda freak, right? So I like that fix of diet soda. So like the kombucha, Coca-Cola, or root beer, that's pretty good, the lives. But I can get down, as long as it's carbonated and has a little, just a little fun to it, I can get down with it.
Well, it's interesting because the conversion is a lot of people came over from soda drinkers.
Yep.
Thinking that, all right, soda's too much, and I know it's bad for me, and
the only problem is I can get 38 Diet Pepsis for $6. That's the only problem.
And the bigger problem is with that, brother, is the health cost that is later on down the road.
Oh, no, that's not. That aspartame's not catching me, man.
Jay, where are we right now?
We're everywhere.
Wherever you want to be.
We're everywhere, yeah.
Who are you, Jay? Who do you want me to be, baby?
Yeah, that's right. I got all the costumes in the world. Chef Noah's back there cooking up some of Mo's chicken.
All right.
So he's going to bring out some chicken.
I'm looking to you. Thank our guests.
Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And Nektr, Nektr.
Yep.
.com.
NektrKombucha.com.
You did not.
Yeah, well, actually,
Get them both, right? I'm going to go buy it right now,
I think actual Nektr was just taken.
Taken?
Yeah, I don't know who spelled it all weird like we did.
Don't
but
disagree.
yeah, there's not a website attached to it, but the domain was
I'll
not
bet
available.
It's snowboard.
Yeah.
And two watch? No, she's not doing two watches.
Two watches. I have my teal handcuffs.
I think what's
here.
interesting, though, is what you said about how many times that's taking.
This is really cool. It's really cool. It's like a thing that it's like a monthly type subscription thing, but trying to get, my fitness on top of everything, trying to be healthy. Yeah. So I need to know, like, hey, my recovery is 96%. It's time to go hard today.
Where were we this morning, Jay?
Victor, Colorado, Gray Wolf Resort.
Why were we there?
We were there to source some chicken.
And what happened?
Turns out you can't just get chicken from somebody you know and then feed it to a bunch of people that are buying tickets to an elite dinner in Denver. Even though the chicken, you
don't know us that well.
And I'd ask Jay, how did we fix that, Jay? How did we fix it?
Well, how did we fix it?
With Morgan here.
With Mo. With Mo's eggs.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember when we met Mo?
I do.
All right.
She was on a motorcycle, or she got on a motorcycle at the end.
It was a mini bike.
Or a mini bike? Is that what it was?
It was a mini bike.
Mini
for the
bike?
record.
It was a mini bike.
Under 200 cc.
You were just getting going.
Kinda. We had just moved.
You had just moved.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I started over. I had a baby, and then started over.
She had a
Sweet.
and then started over.
Yeah.
And there is Mosaic. She was doing eggs. And now production chicken. It's an interesting business. We want to talk about it. Because as we were outsourcing chickens, there's not many places that you can get chickens processed in a USDA plant here in Colorado.
No, it's really difficult to find. I heard there was one out in Kiowa that was like a mobile business.
Yep.
I don't know if that's USDA inspected
Blake was
or not.
telling us about that from
Really?
Rocky
I'd like to
Mountain,
know
Oregon.
more.
I would like to know more, too, because we hear it's about $8 a chicken to get them processed. And we
at
wonder how do you
Westcliff,
make money.
in Westcliff.
All right, stand by. Don't talk about anything more. That's where we're going to break off. We'll come right back. Jay, are you ready? Yes. Jay's getting ready. I think that's a great segue because we love to talk to independent farmers and ranchers. It's not an easy business, but you've had a love for it. I remember your story, and we're going to get reconnected with Morgan. Morgan, what's your last name?
Hamilton.
Morgan Hamilton's coming up next right here from Beast and Brews in Colorado Springs, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Brooke,
having me.
what a great story. Shark Tank wasn't too hard, was it? But you didn't need any money.
You weren't that bad.
You didn't need anything from us. You're good all alone.
Hey, we might hit you up later, though.
It's really the people behind the products.
That is so true.
All right, we'll be back right here. Beats and Brews. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hi guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands, because nobody likes handling taxes. That's Rebecca.berry@forth.com, Rebecca.berry@forth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Art at Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Yeah, there we go. It's their summer dinner series. I'm a farmer. What's up, everybody? This is Kaibab Savage, co-founder of Savage Spectrum Winery, home of Sparklet, Palisade's newest premier sparkling wine producer, coming to you live from our vineyard. You can see this beautiful vineyard behind us. We're so happy to pair up with the Modern Eaters for the Summer Dinner Series. Check them out online, summerdinnerseries.com, to get your tickets. You could come hang out with us. You can try our latest releases of our Sparklets. It's the perfect aperitif to pair with these amazing creations the chefs are going to bring you. Can't wait to see you guys, hang out with you guys, tell you about our story, get to know you better. Hope to see you there.
And that was.
I just had to get hyped up. I just had to get, feeling good.
Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. Our all-new Abbey 4-pack contains the main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So with the 4-pack, you'll get a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple, one of each. Most monastery breweries will make 2 to 4 of these. Some of them make all 4. And American craft breweries like Brews, that specialize in Belgian beers, will make multiple versions of the Big 4 throughout the year. So where can you get an Abbey 4-pack? Well, you can get it at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos in Midtown, or in the East Colfax neighborhood at Colfax and York. You can also find them at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver area. So get yours today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
Okay, welcome back. Set it up, Brian.
Well, welcome back to the Modern Eater. Here we are in beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today it is August 6th. We are here at Beast and Brews with Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker, and myself, Brian Freeman. We've been having a great conversation today with our good friend, Noah Siebenhaller. The
There he is.
executive chef.
There's Noah. He's going to sit down.
And operations manager here at, or is that what it is? Executive chef and operations manager?
General manager.
General manager.
They got that backwards, buddy. Turn those around, and your life will be much better.
We are just about to speak with Morgan.
Mo,
but the last name I just
Hamilton.
Thank you, Hamilton. Like the play.
Got to do word association.
I just did it right there, like the play. Hamilton.
We met Mo a few years back. We were heading through town on. We were doing road trip 2018. I think 2 years you've been in Black Forest, haven't you?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, You were just getting going. I mean, your passion or your love, or did you? It's like you were meant to do what you're doing right now. But just give your background of who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a fifth-generation farmer. My mother, right behind me, right in front of me, did pumpkins growing up, and it paid for her first house at 18 and 4 years of college. So I've got a lot of competition. Yeah, selling pumpkins on the side of the highway in Wisconsin. So, yeah, I'm just kind of born to do this. My grandfather did pigs. So, yeah, I'll stick with chickens. I don't want to get eaten that fast, but...
Well, yeah, pigs will take you out of commission and then not leave back anything. But chickens, they'll get each other. They'll do whatever. Chickens are an interesting thing to actually keep going, but free-range chickens is that's your thing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So your new property in Black Fork, 2 years old. It was a work in progress when we saw you. But just set the stage. What do you do? How many chickens are you dealing with? What's your ethos of how you raise them? And then we'll talk about what we're doing with you this next Tuesday night and these chickens that we sourced from you.
Okay. Well, right now I have them. They're not quite contained. There's 10 acres there, but I have a fence line to kind of humor them in 2 acres. There's roughly 1,400 chickens on the property right now.
Get out.
600 of them are meat birds, so they're kind of segregated. We have them in a different pens so they can run around. And then the layers are 500 or 600 of them are chicks, and then the rest are not laying yet. So we're building up. We plan on having about 1,000 hens laying by March.
Now Mo is multitasking right now. She's keeping an eye on the kiddo. Where's she going?
She needs napkins.
Oh, and she's got that under control? Oh, she's got to get up high. We'll get that for you in just a second. She's drawing on napkins. What's her name?
McAllister.
Hi, McAllister. Aw, we remember you from a couple of years back.
Get it in just a minute, okay?
16. Did you say 1,600 chickens?
About 1,400.
1,400.
Yeah,
you had nowhere near that amount of chickens when we saw you.
I probably had 300 or 400.
Did you have that many?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first batch I ordered 400, and give or take whatever the hawks like to. So yeah, it's hard to tell right now. I try to fill them every once in a while. I'll just buy another batch of chickens, or somebody gives me their flock, and I add it to them. So we're kind of a hodgepodge.
What's your everyday like?
I wake up at 5 a.m. before the baby. I go out. I have about an hour of chores between the chicks and filling up waters and cleaning pens. And then I get back in, wake up the baby, feed her. We got another job at a hemp farm to supplement our chicken habit. So we get up, go water over there, come back home, collect eggs, clean out whatever, water again, check the chicks, make dinner, go to bed. That's our life.
You said we. Is there now a Mr. Morgan?
No, just me and Mac. She collects eggs now, and she fills waters. I haven't had to pay her yet because she hasn't asked. But I do feed her. Yeah.
Single mother.
Yeah.
Working hard. This is really just bred into you. And now you're up to some big responsibilities. So as we talked about this business model, we're kind of just going down the lane of I go to natural grocers. And what I believe is probably to be a pretty good chicken. It's air chilled and organic, and it's $12.99. I think it's $12.99. And I think, how much does it cost to feed this chicken through its lifetime? How many weeks is it? 6? About? How many weeks?
Oh, longer to raise a chicken
It depends.
for a broiler?
Yeah, there's different breeds. You can get the really fat ones that are bred to get really big really quick, and 9 weeks tops.
9 weeks tops?
But I do 11 to 12.
Really?
Yeah. But I get the breeds that don't get so fat so I can feed them properly. I don't want them choking or anything. So.
I just hear more food.
Yeah,
I hear 11
let me
weeks.
ask. So, have you factored out what is the cost per bird in food? Do you know?
They cost me it's about $10 per chicken, which is ridiculous, and $4 of that is processing.
Oh, so you found a processor. Simlac is way cheaper, or Simlac.
Simlac's $4 a bird,
and you get your own birds out.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty reasonable compared to Westcliff.
So most businesses
$8. Is that what you said?
Yes, Westcliff is charging $70.
In the Midwest, it was $1.75. So this is still kind of outrageous to me, but since nobody does it, I might as well, Nobody does it in this area.
So let's do the math to make that kind of money off of a bird. You selling a $30 bird?
Sometimes they're $5 a pound.
You got to find the market for that, right?
Yeah, the farmers markets here in Colorado are fantastic for that stuff.
Look at here's a bird right here.
Yeah, look at that great job that
wow.
Chef and his team did back there with that bird.
Chicken. How many chickens are you eating? And I listen, when you think of the math of how many people worldwide eat chicken in a day, that's where mass production comes into play, and it makes little guys like you just look so insignificant.
Right.
But there's an art to actual good free-range chicken. And, what are you looking to do?
I'm looking to show people where their food comes from. They need to know how it's raised. It's okay to not know, but when you do know, you respect that creature that much more. You're getting that much more energy out of it. Just knowing that your food was handled respectably.
She wants to show us. What do you got? Oh, that's good.
Those
I
are
like
my
that.
notes. That's my next.
Well, here's what she did. She did a great job staggering the colors from yellow to dark, yellow to dark. That's a good job, honey. I like that. Go do another. That's what you do. If I was to ever be a father, I just compliment and say, do me another.
Thank you. Yep, it helps.
It helps. Talking chickens, but no, that's a real thing of how do you make money doing this. Are you finding this to be a business that's going to be sustainable to you?
I think so. I'd like to expand. Right now my operation isn't the most efficient, I suppose. Like the feeders could be different. The egg, I could actually have the eggs roll out on a conveyor belt so I can pick them instead of going in there and picking and getting bugs on me, whatever, get pecked at.
So you're doing layers too then?
Yeah. Yeah, so the eggs are my main thing.
Is it really? Talk about the egg business.
Yeah, it's a lot of women in one place at one time all the time. But it's kind of it's fascinating to me how to keep them healthy. Something goes wrong and you got to fix it right away. You got to kind of wing it every day. I take a lot of pride in how clean my coops are and how healthy my chickens are compared to some other farms I might go to. And I've got like my little secrets here and there to fix their feathers or get rid of bugs or roosters, whatever, how to calm them down. That's always an issue.
Tell me a secret.
I humiliate the roosters.
Is that emasculating?
Yeah, that's not going to get me a date, is it?
How do you do that to where it actually sticks?
Pick them up. You just pick them up and hold them like a baby. And a friend of mine showed me this years ago, and I couldn't even touch this bird. And she picked it up, held its feet, held it like a baby, showed all the other girls in the flock what she was doing, and then she did that for like a half hour and then set it down for like 2 weeks. He never messed with me. Eventually he did get mean, and we just sent him with the meat chickens to the slaughterhouse. But
Show them dominance.
Humiliate him, yeah. Yeah.
So Mo, let me ask, would you ever look at any heritage birds? Are you going in that direction?
What were we talking about
We were
earlier?
talking about the bluefoot.
I
and
have
like
no
if
idea
somebody
what
in
that
the
is.
U.S. would ever raise bluefoot chicken.
Yeah, but that's more like into the breed, I guess, because I'm mostly into the eggs. I'm more looking at production. But the breeds, my main breeds are like Australorp and Rhode Island Reds, Golden Buffs. Those are all still breeds that are multi-purpose.
Yep, great layers.
Yeah.
And then you can turn them into broilers.
Yeah, and they're
at the
4-H pets too, and they're still well-bred breeds. So.
What'd you bring us?
That is a red broiler, so it's literally like whatever hatchery. I'd say I got them from Murray McMurray, maybe. They mixed a broiler with a red layer, so that might have been a Rhode Island and a broiler mix.
How many did you bring?
There should be 8 back there.
8?
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. What do those usually go for market price? Per chicken?
For me,
it's
$20 a bird if they're 4 pounds.
$20 a bird?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's 20 times 8. I can't even do the math.
That would be 160, babe.
160?
Yeah.
We don't want you to take a loss on this, but we also want you to join us for dinner on Tuesday night. We love to support local.
Totally.
Right? That's fantastic. So what we're doing Tuesday night, downtown, Pizza Republica, usually we do a summer, this is third year, summer dinner series.
Okay.
We usually do it in our commercial kitchen. COVID means you got to spread out. We've got a beautifully appointed day. Noah, you were there.
Yep.
You felt good?
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Okay. So we're going to utilize your chickens. We're going to utilize some local pork, some local beef, local produce. We bring this all together for a dinner. Brother Luck's going to cook your chickens. You're going to come for dinner and be our guest. And then you're going to get up on our live stream and talk to our guests and the world about your chickens. And people are going to eat them, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to experience local at its finest.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
That sounds great, yeah.
And so wait, real quick, where can people find you so they can get really excited about eating your chicken before our dinner?
That's a tough one.
Facebook?
See, that's the
you got
thing.
a webpage?
Facebook's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And see what's going on at the farm, what new chicks are coming in, if
Seems
there's
like
any
farmers
what we have.
markets, what
Farmers
you're doing.
Black Forest Backyard Farmers Market has been the best market I have ever been to, and it's new this year. It's Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. right next to the community center.
Yeah.
And we have everything anybody needs.
How many do you bring?
I don't bring the chicken. They
You
have to
bring the
contact
eggs.
me and I'll deliver, but I bring like 5 cases of eggs, and I sell out every week by noon. Somewhere.
Wow.
Need some eggs, too.
Yeah.
I brought some of those. Just
Did you bring eggs?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Be tips, yeah.
So life is normal, right? Just keep building?
Yeah, we're going to keep growing a little bit. Maybe one day I'll have my 80 acres and a pole barn, and I'll move the operation over there, and we'll have a little more free range, literally. So.
Still riding the motorcycle?
Oh, every
on the
day we
property?
ride the mini bike, right, Mac? Its name is Argo.
I know. And you were just 2 years ago. So what were you 2 years ago? 2? How old is she now?
She's almost 3, so she was
One.
one. Yeah.
You realize you had her on the back of that bike,
You
or
know,
in front of you.
I have for a while. I had one of her old car seats ratchet strapped to the back, and we would go get the mail on the side. Go get the mail all the way down the road in that. And
I'm not hating.
the
That's
cop
farm
didn't call
life,
us
man.
yet.
I mean, you probably have her driving right now.
She sits in the front, but no, she can't steer. She drives.
She can't steer yet. Talk about what we're looking at right here, Noah.
So this is our rotisserie chicken available on the dinner menu every day after 4 o'clock. We put it in the rotisserie nice low and slow, served with our broccolini that you all enjoyed earlier, and our roasted smashed potatoes with some bacon, fat, and garlic, and then our house-made chimichurri on top.
Do you ever harvest chickens yourself just for the family?
Yeah, I used to have called it the slaughter party, and I think we got up to 4 years annually.
Mm-hmm.
And we get all the neighbors over, get a keg of beer, lots of food, and we just spend the whole day and do like 30 to 80 birds in a day. So if anybody helped, they'd take home a chicken, have a beer, go home. But now that, processing's so convenient.
So skin off? Because you couldn't.
We'd leave the
take
skin
feathers.
in. I like the skin.
I do too.
Yeah.
But how do you do that at a party? You're not plucking feathers.
Yeah, everybody learns how to do it the right way, I guess.
I
But
don't
there's
mind
easier
that at
ways.
all.
We'll do that next year.
Have you ever had chicken skin chips?
Oh, it's just all of that's good.
So good.
And I think that if you're going to bake a chicken, you have to have the skin. Or it's just going to get dry.
Absolutely.
All right, so Tuesday night, that'll be good. I really no drunk talk. You're coming up, right? Are you
I'll
drunk?
come up. No, I got the baby today.
I know. Tuesday night, Noah, what are you doing Tuesday? It's Brother Luck's dinner. We should party.
Yeah.
All right. Whoever can make it, we have 1 4-top left. SummerDinnerSeries.com. This is what we're doing. We're outsourcing. What else do we need, Brian?
We just need the pork belly. And then we've got a few miscellaneous ingredients. We need to get to Fruition Farms for a little goat cheese. We need a pound of goat cheese. But then it was some hit and miss stuff, like some 5 pounds of rainbow carrots. I know there's a couple little Fruition has some rainbow.
They might have some.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Jay just did a lap around this burger here. What are we showing right here?
This is our dry-aged burger on our dinner menu. Burger Week started yesterday, so we're one of 14 restaurants in the Springs competing in the Colorado Springs Independent Burger Week. It's a 28-day dry-aged brisket and chuck house ground burger with herb marinated tomatoes, house-made bacon, some caramelized beer onions, and 18-month aged Irish white cheddar.
You're a great host.
Yeah, and your French fries are totally different.
Yes, so
now.
these ones,
wedge.
These
these
aren't
aren't
actually.
wedges.
These are special for the dry aged burger for the Burger Week. We had a supplier that came to us and said, "Hey, you guys treat us well. We want to take care of you. What can we do?" And they brought us a few cases of fries to use during the Burger Week. So just something a little different for them. But these are great. But like we were talking about earlier, these are not just the potato. They got the coating on to keep them crisp. And
the food's been delicious. I want to do this just because I like to have fun at Brian's expense. Who's this?
This is Noah Siebenhaler. How do you like
Who's
me now,
this?
babe? This is Mo Hamilton, or her friends call her Morgan Hamilton.
Get down. No, her friends call her Mo.
Okay.
Morgan
And what's
Hamilton.
her daughter's name?
I have no idea.
Maybe McAllister.
Is it really?
It might be, but then who's keeping track of these
You
things there?
show off.
Because I like to embarrass you.
All right, where are we at?
We are in Colorado Springs at Beast and Brews.
Or Beast
right across.
with an S?
Beast. I said that. Beast and Brews.
That's a
right
tough
across
one, isn't
from
it?
the
You
Academy.
did the beast because it's multiple animals.
beasts. Yeah.
Yep,
right?
that's right.
Or are you the beast?
I was accused of being the beast a couple weekends ago in one of our reviews.
I'll tell you what, Tim, if you're watching or listening, Noah's the secret sauce here at Beasts and Brews. We appreciate you as always. Morgan Hamilton, Mo, Tuesday night. Be our guest if you can.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. She'll be up there at Pizza Republica with us for Brother Luck's dinner, bringing these delicious chickens with us. Jay Parker, as always, good setup. Hi, Jay.
This thing, this thing is turning me off automatically. And anyway, thanks for having me.
That thing turns you off?
This new thing is turning off this mic for some reason, and I don't know why.
All right, it's 5:22. It's dinner time. Give the 30-second elevator speech of why people should come down here and visit you.
Come on down and join us for not only great food and beer, but community. Even during this time of COVID right now, we want to promote community as much as we can. Just make sure you bring your mask and make a reservation.
I know, and I love the cock on the wall that you have over there. That's a good one. This place is blessed and some of the best, but you can guarantee great products, great sourcing, delicious food, 100 tap lines. Jeff Rourke installed. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Beasts and Brews will continue. We got to get a couple more ingredients. Tomorrow's a Friday. We'll wrap it up tomorrow, and then next Tuesday, Brother Luck. Get your tickets for the remainder of the year at SummerDinnerSeries.com. Thank you so much. We'll be kicking it down the road. Where are we going next, Brian?
We're going to figure that out right now.
We could be in Paonia or be at home.
Yeah, and we got to go to Fruition tomorrow too. So
that's true. Okay, break off. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Noah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mo. Okay.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, everybody else. We'll see you down the road. The
Pleasure
Modern
as
Eater
always.
Show continues.